Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Welcome back for another paint and chill. I know it's been a while. The last one was so much fun that I decided to put this one off forever. Now I've just been really busy. Jackie and I have been sick off and on for almost 2 weeks now. Real quick, we got Bo, Mr. Bo. How you
Hey,
doing? Hey, man. Good seeing you again, even though we just talked this afternoon, all afternoon. And
yeah, the
then,
whole afternoon. It's okay. It's what friends do.
yeah,
I'm gonna.
exactly. Uh, it was actually a fun discussion, and last night's game was great. You did fine. Uh,
I was just so tired. I mean, I don't know what it was. I just felt like I
you,
couldn't concentrate.
you may have been tired, but a couple other people were tiring me.
and
It's like, come on, guys, come on, wake up. Bo's got an excuse. Everybody else, I don't know. Poor Kevin, probably going to die next
oh,
week.
he's dead.
Negative five.
He already made a new character, and that's what when you play old school games, you win old school prizes. You any given minute, you expect. I expect any character I play, especially because I tend to play more frail characters in combat situations, which is fine. To me, the game
You
is
kick about all of our asses in the real world. That's why.
ah.
You,
I don't
you,
like the. I
you,
don't want to play myself. I want to play. I want to play. If I'm going to play a game that has magic in it, I want to again. And like I said, I told you before, Shadow. I had never. What did you call them? A magic abuser? I had never
yeah,
played a magic abuser before.
yeah.
So now I'm playing in two games, and I'm playing a magic user in both of them.
Some of
And
my favorite characters are magic abusers as well. I actually have this really great video I've been working on called "Let Magic Users Use Magic"
yeah,
because it's so many tight wadded, freaking overly wound up GMs who just can't let their magic abusers abuse some magic. I mean, you know, a lot of us, in our circle, you throw us in a dark alley with a couple, ne'er do wells, and we're going to come out fine. You know, we've done all the rock'em sock'em robot stuff. In the real world, one way or the other. But getting to freaking launch a freaking lightning bolt or a barrage of magic missiles or go invisible or oh my god, fly or teleport, which some GMs just cannot freaking mentally handle that in a game, blows my ever loving mind. It's like, yes, there's an advantage, but with every advantage, there's an equal rock, paper, scissors disadvantage to that same thing. Teleport. Oh, whoop. You don't roll right. You end up, like the Manhattan Project, and you're stuck,
the
half
Philadelphia. Yeah.
through a wall, right? Um,
Well, I want that. Again, we were talking about this earlier. I was reading the miscast, the Bros and
sure.
Borderlands miscast spell table. Okay, well, look at that mess. That's a messy
That
table. That's
is a
okay.
clean table compared to my table. Oh lordy, my table is
It was spotless a week ago, but that was the week. In fact, it's so bad. I'm kit bashing some minis, and I was doing it upstairs on my wife's, you know, uh, dining room table because I wanted more space. Okay, perfect.
dude. You can put your elbows down. I can't.
Well,
So
yeah, that what the half of the table that does not have the O light and the camera mount is actually really clean, but the half that does have, okay, let us wet the palette. Yes, thanks. Let's do that.
let's see if we got anybody yakking in the chat. Nope, no, but just you and me and a couple other weirdos who are too scared to come in or at least drop a hello. Hey, Shadow, what's going on, man? Good to see you streaming. I miss streaming when I'm actually in the driver's seat. I'm on other people's shows from time to time, and I got to be kind of on my best behavior here. I can cut people off and they can't say shit. If I
Oh,
interrupt somebody on another show, I get berated because I'm old, and if I don't blurt it out, I'm gonna forget, and it's probably it's probably not that big a deal what I had to say, but in my head, it's like the funniest thing I've ever thought. Uh, Cal, I got it right here, dude. Right here, man. I wanted to, just do the hellos and stuff. Cal, you want to come in and hang
Wasn't
out?
he supposed to be in our game last night?
He was gonna, but he had some stuff going on. It's okay that you couldn't make it, Cal.
No,
For you to join in.
no
Uh,
forgiveness, no mercy.
but he sent me this freaking huge package. I mean, it's a small flat rate priority, and he spent like 12 something on shipping, which is if that's like the going rate now, I'm like, huh, that's gone up a lot, and I have to change all my eBay ads and you know up
Man,
this.
I was looking at it. That's the thing. I was looking at a book today on eBay, and the price was actually fair. And then, of course, they wanted to soak me for $10 for shipping.
It's broken junk. The way it rattles, Cal. Maybe, but it's heavy, which means it's metal minis, and I can't wait to open it up. But I'm gonna let Bo finish his little story about.
No, no, that's the story. The story is, the book. They want to charge you $40 for a book, which seems reasonable, and then
Uh,
they want it, but then they want to soak you for. And I know that you can still send books by media mail,
oh, absolutely.
and so don't try to tell me that the shipping is $10 when you can send it freaking media mail. And
You know
media mail
what?
is like $6 or $5 or something like that.
I've been buying like mostly books lately because I got nowhere to put minis. I'm working on it. I got some solutions and stuff for that, but it's also still winter and it's really hard to paint here. Although I did assemble what do they
Oops.
call it, a 15 millimeter HOF sci-fi armored personnel carrier. Little, it looks like a little Hummer, about yay big, and it's primered and drying in the garage because I'm going to start uh, moving over to 15 mil for any like actual like war games or tactical games where I want to use a lot of minis because I don't really feel like painting like 40 orcs. But if they're
Oh,
like
I
15,
do.
but if they're 15 mil scale, I'll paint 100. What the hell happened?
I don't
That
know.
was weird. No, my screen just went black.
I want to
Anyway,
paint. I want to paint 50 orcs. Maybe not 50 orcs, but you know what I mean.
and then we got Omen who never paints a damn thing, and he wants to
I
come
thought
in here.
I thought Omen painted.
He can. I'm sure he's really good at it. He's just not a painter kind of guy,
I
like
don't
us.
have. Yeah, I just don't have it in my a place set up for it. I've got other
Uh,
stuff that's
I'm
taking
betting
part.
he's like a an S tier painter, and he's just laughing at us this whole time. It's like I've won like 18 golden demons. They don't know, um,
let's
and
see.
I'm just
Most of
waiting
the
to
stuff
see that.
though, so I like monsters
And
and I like
Hunter has
liquid
joined
beetles.
the fray. Welcome to the show, Hunter.
Monsters. Oh shoot. Where's my toolbox?
Hunter, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. I decided to stop sitting down, so I got my standing desk part of my desk activated. So I'm
Dude, I
standing up
I,
for a
I,
change.
I envy and applaud you for having one of those. I want to do that. We've got one, but it's in another room, and the wife's using it for when she gets work at home, but she never
Yeah.
uses it to stand up. One of my favorite YouTubers, Salty Tracker, he does his live show. It's like 4 hours standing up, like he's at a rock concert, at the microphone. I want to do that because if you guys remember a couple of months ago, I had a pinched nerve, and I just like getting up and down from this stupid chair was like life changing painful every time. And
Yeah.
I came up with a solution through better living through chemistry, the old motto. Uh, but it's not something I want to do. But next time I found the right secret mixture to nip that in the bud. But the idea of okay, Oben, fine, be that way.
Was he picking up like? Sound like he's picking up like Radio Free Tokyo or something like that. It was.
Maybe he'll be back. I am certain of it. But I want to do like that where I stand and chit chat because it's so much healthier for you than Bo might remember, but Hunter, you don't remember. I used to do this game with Bruce from Bruce Lombardo, and it would be like a 10-hour game, and then after that, I would come on to my show on Saturdays, and I would do
Hmm.
a 2 to 4 hour show. Then after that, I would do another 2 to 4 hour show on Saturday nights,
Uh-huh.
and it was brutal. I mean, I did that for the better part of a year.
All
Okay,
right.
well,
Best paints on the planet right here. Coat d'Arms paint. Very
um,
similar in color and texture and consistency to the old Citadel paints.
what do we have here? Oh, Omen said
Yeah.
BRB, and then in the chat we have Cal saying it's get your lead poisoning on. Okay, James L, how you doing, buddy? If you
Oh,
want to come
James L. No, he's no Australians allowed. I'm sorry.
in,
I got
he's
a
got
new dice bag today.
Oh, yeah, I
nice.
saw
So
that. The Crown Royal bag.
Yep,
yeah,
I need
hey,
one.
this is the Crown Royal Reserve bag that comes with
Oh,
it, and it's red. And it's twice the cost of regular Crown Royal, but I wanted the red bag because I like red's my favorite color.
I don't drink, but
I don't drink
uh,
either.
hey, Grandma, I hope you're feeling better. No worries, Grandma. With Jen and you both out, there's just no way we're gonna run a game with OGGM and think we're gonna get out of it, alive.
Speaking of games, because I just remembered I need to tell you I'm not going to be able to play on Thursday because my job decided that we're all going to come in an hour early all next week because they're increasing our case amount that we got to run through the warehouse.
Oh,
Mm. You're gonna miss out.
Hopefully,
yep.
the
Yeah,
annual pay is included with it.
Because we're gonna get enough money we're gonna have enough money to actually transcribe our spell scrolls, and we're gonna transcribe our spell scrolls so that Mike XJ Foxtrot, whatever his robot name is, we're gonna have extra spells to cast. It's gonna be lit.
yeah. It's like I just can't. I'm not going to be able to game till 10 and then turn around and wake up at 2:30 so I can try to be up at work by 4. So
I hear you.
I
I
will
hear
do
you.
I will do the recap in the morning so you'll know what you missed. And if you want, you can like send me some notes of what your character will be doing in X, Y, and Z situation.
okay.
Otherwise, they're just gonna stand there like an NPC, running in place or something. Um, okay, Cal, I'm gonna do it. I've been waiting because this came. Did it come today
Are we
or
doing a live unboxing?
yes, a live unboxing from
A
from Cal
live
Mann.
unboxing. I would open it. I would open it off camera because you don't know if you're going to find like any 20-inch marital aids in there.
No, I know Cal. Cal's not going to send me anything but broken lead, and
Uh
none of
huh.
the
He's going to
primers will
send
be
you a.
back.
He's going to
But
send
I'm
you
opening it because I
a
want. Cause
big
I,
black marital aid.
I no, no, no. I want Cal to see the.
Just because I
Oh
got
my!
you those Conan cards.
I want. Oh my God! I want Cal to see the actual genuine look of
Yeah, that's what
surprise.
she said. It's as big around as a beer can.
Bo still has that, that shot from the Frazetta cards I got him.
Yeah, I have to hide those in my have to hide those in the bedroom drawer.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. This guy's got like. Okay, so he put all the torsos in one bag, and I'm guessing uh, the other things. But this is just a torso of one of the giants.
Wow,
Let me get a
are
regular.
those 25 millimeter scale or what?
I don't know, but this is a 28 millimeter mini from I forget who.
Yeah.
Rebel, not Rebel Minis. No,
Where
no,
are
no,
my
no.
good brushes? Holy shit!
Hey, I'm glad you brought up brushes because I need to bring up brushes too. But that's a female World War II heroine character next to just the torso and shoulders of one of the giants.
I
All right, we're
spent
gonna
so
get
much on
out.
sable brushes when I was younger.
I have. Oh no, I've got. There, I've got. I'll show you real quick.
Oh,
This
I
is
love
my.
this too.
These are my good brushes. Good brushes.
My
So
good brushes are under lock and key for an emergency. Um, I'll show you the brushes I've been using for the last year. Okay, look at this. Look at this.
yeah,
There's
I
not.
know. I get what you're saying, but I mean, I don't want to die and have a whole bunch of sable brushes like Kolinsky sable
Oh,
brushes
I
I
don't
never
even.
used. I
I don't
want
even have one.
use the brushes. Wear your nice clothes. Eat the good food.
Cal, I love this. This giant like basketball or whatever he's got in his hand. I can't decide whether I want to paint it as a basketball, or a medicine ball, or maybe a beach ball.
I got so mad when I remember having some of the metal minis from Games Workshop,
Yeah.
and apparently they had a lot of gaps in between. Like, guys, that should be one thing you fix with your mole.
Are
Some
these
of
actual
them,
lead, Cal? Are these actual lead? Because they feel like lead. And
Are
I
they
don't know
lead or
about you guys.
pewter?
They may be. I don't know. You know what? I know how
look
to
at
figure it.
that. You can look through the magnifying lens. You're
Yeah.
They
looking
do
through the
kind
same
of keep a
magnifying lens
lead
I am.
thing on the paper. Uh, but when I work with lead, I was working with lead yesterday, and sometimes you can actually feel it through your fingertips. You kind of get a slight burning sensation when you're actually working with lead. So that's not good, especially since when I was working on the Dungeons and Lasers plastic pieces a couple weeks ago for Jackie, I've got these rubber things I should have been using, and I'm probably going to use them tonight. Where you put on your fingers, these little.
Finger condoms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I should have been wearing them because, like, I was downstairs cutting sprues to get these dungeon tile pieces out so Jackie could use them. Didn't cut myself once. I came up here. I was doing a show with somebody, and I cut three fingers like 18 times.
People have gotten brain damage from working with lead like
Yeah, I'm sure
that.
that can't possibly apply to me.
So, Shadow and Son, did you ever play a game called Talislanta?
No, but I haven't. I do own it.
I ordered the the PDFs are absolutely free, but I ordered a first edition hardcover earlier today since Uncle Sam decided to be nice to me and I got my huge refund in today for FedEx.
Nice.
So what you mean is
I'm
you
gonna
overpaid.
I'm gonna
you
be yeah I'm
overpaid
gonna be
the
owing.
devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's an interest free loan.
I don't pay taxes, so I never owe. I have someone take care of it for me. I always make that joke. But yeah, I'm sure we're not getting a refund this year. So next bag is the arms and
I got
heads, maybe.
$40 last year.
I think I owed $4,000 last year.
Oof, ouch.
Yeah. Like, it's
Yeah,
the only reason that I bought this today. I would not have bought this if I didn't have the money for it. So,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's usually how it works. You say I don't have the money, give me the bottle. And they clock you over the head with something. Or tell you,
it's
kind of
like
insane.
I don't usually drink all the time, and when I do, it's usually like maybe someone with a meal or maybe one or two with some friends. But I can't. But you can't. But you can't even afford to have a drinking problem with how expensive even a regular 6-pack is now these days.
That was the problem when I was young. People were like, well, enough for me to become a wino.
Spoken like a man who's not an addict.
I gave up drinking when Jackie turned 3 on his 3rd birthday. I haven't wanted a drink since. And okay, there's 8 heads here, but there's 6 torsos. So
you got to magnetize them.
Or you get your X-Acto knife out and one giant has 2 heads. Hells yeah.
See, I would have never thought of both great ideas. Thanks, guys. And then the other bag is tree limbs and weapons and cool shit like that. Man, Cal, I'm going to show the faces in a minute because there's some hysterical looking mugs in this collection here. Okay, and I'm guessing the last. Oh my, dude, these are freaking heavy pieces. And Cal and I, we have the same sort of tastes and a lot of things when it comes to minis. I'm all about metal.
There is something special about metal. Even if I was using plastic, then I still like having metal bases just to give some heft.
Yeah. So that if you get mad at your players and they kill your boss monster, you can hurl it at them and it will do some damage.
Which reminds me, I got a sling training class. I actually buy a sling.
Nice. I can use
go out
a
to my
bullwhip.
property and seeing how far we can fling it.
I can use an actual bullwhip pretty accurately. Oh, wait, there's a 7th torso and 7 sets of legs. Okay, that's cool. Now I have 7 giants, so I could paint them up like the 7 dwarves, maybe. But they're
Have
giants.
you ever noticed that the giants have gotten bigger and bigger over time?
You mean like since the time of since the time of like Goliath. Goliath is like 7.5 feet tall, and every year
I
the
don't
giants
care.
get a little bit tall.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm 6'2", and if there's a 7-footer, and you start realizing just how much bigger a human being is, just for that, and then if you get like 9 or 10 feet, I mean, people forget just how big that is, and then you look over, and now they're like 40, 50 feet,
Sorry, I'm
equivalent.
not keeping up with the chat, guys. I'm being a bad host.
Yeah, you're naughty. That you're supposed to. That we're here to paint.
Nice.
That we're here to paint and chill.
I am, but as the host, I gotta.
So,
Uh,
Hey, so for my birthday, my wife and I went today and got couples massages. And I've done massages quite a bit. Whenever I get done with a massage, the masseuse, if they're real therapeutic, licensed therapeutic, whatever, licensed
yeah.
massage therapist, I always say, look, dude, there's two kinds of massages. The kind where they feel good while you're getting them, but you feel like trash tomorrow, and the kind where you feel like trash while you're getting them, but tomorrow you feel awesome because they like break down some scar
no,
tissue.
no,
Oh yeah.
no.
And
You're
so
forgetting. You're
this
forgetting the
dude,
third kind. I'm sorry, dude.
no, those are illegal, and I was with my wife.
That doesn't mean shit. Um, because
Anyway, no, I
I
agree with
mean,
you. If you get the
I
Swedish
personally
massage where it feels like they're
never
beating you
mind.
up.
I'll
Yeah.
keep this PG.
So this guy looked like a slightly shorter Jason Momoa, this big like Hispanic / Polynesian dude with a big old beard, and he beat the cornbread hell out of me. But when I got done, I felt awesome. And then afterwards, Jules took me took me to the Brazilian barbecue,
Okay,
and I
nice.
got stuffed with about 30. I mean, I had like steak and pork and chicken and more steak and more pork, and it was. And now Jules is upstairs, sleeping it off because you get the meat sweats,
Never had that.
and and I am down here with y'all looking for my scrofulous brown.
Okay, I've
Where's
never
my
heard of that before. I've never even heard that word before.
Okay, look.
Scrofulous.
Here
What,
is
meat
scrofulous
sweats?
brown.
Oh yeah.
It's like a yellow. So when I do like a brass non-metallic metal or even a metallic metal, I always base coat with, if I'm going for a brass, I'll base coat with this first because metallics tend to have poor coverage, especially over black. So when I'm doing like Chaos Space Marine trim,
Uh huh.
something like that, I always do scrofulous brown for the base coats.
Okay, I've
Just a
never
just a
never heard of it. Never seen it.
it's just a Viejo Games color. There it is.
They started selling that at my uh, uh, Hobby Lobby,
They've
and
had Viejo with the one up here for a while, but the selection's been very. When they used to have the really massive sale, the sale coupon you could print off.
Yeah.
I always went.
they did.
I duck in to buy one bottle of Viejo paint, and of course now I've turned into quite the paint horse. Here's
Yeah, I've got a box. I've got two boxes over there, and each box has about 50 bottles of Viejo extras, like your basic colors, black, white, Iraqi sand, and stuff like that.
Oh,
Um,
the sand colors are great, especially
yeah,
like the light and dark sands. It may make for great base coats too.
Mhm.
If you're gonna glaze over the top, I'm a big fan of the pale sand and dark sand.
And I got that vehicle, James. I got it from eBay with shipping. It was like $15, and I know I can get stuff cheaper, blah blah blah. But I was like, I just wanted to get my beak wet, starting with the 15 mils. Uh,
I
What scale is it?
it's 15.
Oh, 15 mil. So it's
have you
it's pretty small then, like a 160 or something.
have you
Uh,
looked at the Drop Commander or Drop
yes, I
Zone?
have.
Is that the Mantic game?
No,
No, it's
it's its own game. I remember seeing it probably.
there's Drop Commander, and there's another one that goes with it. It's like a Battlefleet Gothic. So there's like
Yeah,
the
so
ground and the space game, and they're all kind of compatible, I guess. But
yeah.
didn't no, I was thinking Richard Borg, who passed away. He did another game that was really interesting like that, but he also did Siege of the Citadel.
So that one is 10 millimeter, and those are really detailed. I was looking up at them yesterday. Um, I was like, and they one of their things I like to see the size of it, but they were like 10 millimeter true scale, which I thought was
Oh,
kind of cool. Um, but yeah,
they're
I
pretty
much
small.
prefer the smaller scale for large game. The problem with
Oh,
28
sure.
millimeter is you're like 50. If you're playing a game, it's something like 100 yards by 100 yards, if that. And
Yeah,
that's about it.
You got to play on
Whereas
a bigger table.
yeah.
And the biggest problem I have with, and I love 28 millimeter and 32 millimeter minis to paint and to
yeah,
play with. The problem with them is, in most of the games that take them, whether it's um, what's the big sci-fi one?
40K,
Crap. No. The European one.
40K.
No, damn it, the German one or French one, the one with the metal minis.
I don't
Infinity.
know.
Oh,
Infinity.
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
So
okay.
if you're playing Infinity, at least Infinity is more of a skirmish scale game. I don't want to play an army scale game like a lot of historicals. One mini on the table is like a whole squad of guys
Right,
or a whole platoon of guys. If you're doing that, that's fun. But to have a 1-to-1 scale that's bigger than a skirmish game, like a squad v squad game, like Kill Team or the one page rules version or something,
yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely great. But where you feel like in 40K, especially playing a horde army like orcs or guard, and you're playing like, putting like 150 or 200 minis on the table, it makes the turns last too long. And by the time you look at the turns in real life, the battle lasted 20 seconds, but it took 3 hours to play it.
Well, the problem that I have with it is 40K originally was intended to be a skirmish game, which you could scale up. And I was
Right.
like, okay, and it
Well,
explained why the ranges were so short. The problem
Mhm.
was is that of course, it's a business, so they want to sell as many as possible.
sure.
So, now whenever you have tournaments, they don't relate anything like a realistic battle to do tactics. When you start seeing everyone put all the characters behind, hidden, like okay, yeah, that's what turned me off of 40K so much. I do at some point I need to play I mean I've got the books, the was it
Oh,
five
they're
parsecs
bowling. Okay.
5 parsecs from home, and then the other one
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
was
Space Weirdos. There's a whole bunch of them.
well, and then the other one was 5 Leagues from the Borderland, which is the fantasy version, um,
Mhm.
which I like myself because it's intended to be played with anywhere from about 4 to 8 minis uh, on your side, and that's it. And then you build up your little crew, and I like that kind of
Oh
game.
yeah,
The
there's a
problem
lot of them.
is,
There's like Stargrave, Frostgrave, and they're miniatures agnostic. They have official
yeah,
minis, both of them, but you can. I mean, the guys on the Facebook groups, you see they kit bash all their stuff with anything and everything. They use minis from, especially the plastic stuff that's easy to kit bash.
I'll tell you
They'll
what is
take.
really pretty, and I'd love to have, but I just don't have any room to store it. Is I like those Conquest minis.
Oh yeah, the Conquest ones are nice. They're a little
Although,
expensive too, but
yeah,
it's
but they're
fine.
38 millimeter, or what is they're larger scale.
30,
Uh,
32 or 30. Yeah, they're a bit bigger.
no, they're like 35 or 38. They're larger than the
Yeah.
32, and I like because I like the fact they have dinosaurs and crap like that. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
um,
And
and
they've
I
got some
like
sci-fi ones that look awesome too. I looked at them at the a plug for my absolute favorite hobby store, MRS Hobbies in Sandy, Utah. Go down and talk to Jason. Tell him Bo sent you. Shameless plug. Give me
There
some
are
free
second
stuff.
courses.
Um, but yeah, they I was looking at some of them a while back, and I was kind of interested until I realized I really couldn't use them for anything that I'm doing right now because the scale is just a bit.
well,
It's a
my
bit
Why
problem
are
is
iffy.
everyone
why
talks
are
about
wood
scale.
bases
It's like,
bad,
what's
Grandma?
that? Oh,
The grandma said wood bases are bad, and I'm asking why.
I don't like MDF bases. But it's weird because I use a lot of bases. I'll use a lot of wood for, like, I'll show you some of the bases I'm working on right now. I use a lot of wood for the basing, but I don't do wood.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's why, Grandma. Because the wood bases can release gases. That's why back in the day, a lot of guys used to store their minis in like wood boxes, and then they'd come home from college, open up their box, and there'd be nothing but rotted lead.
Oh, right.
And which is weird because I've got a chest of drawers outside, but because it was the drawers were like say they were like this tall, someone cut them in half and turned them into a chest of drawers just to store trading cards. So there's this big gap that air can flow freely. And I've had miniatures for my eBay store that have been in there for over a decade and they're fine. But I guess if the wood gas built up, plus this chest of drawers is like
There's some
40 years old.
wooden bases I'm working on. I build up some cork towers. Yes, and
Well, the question is, I guess they're bad for. Are they bad for? Are they
metal,
just
not for
bad for lead, or are
plastic.
they
Doesn't
bad
care.
for everything?
No, plastic doesn't care. Plastic you can put in a landfill for 100 years and it's fine. That's why it's plastic.
Well, everyone jokes about boy, plastic breaks down pretty fast if you put it in sunlight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, UV light is bad for plastic, but
no, I mean, I always love. I like historical. I was trying to look at North Texas RPG Con and going up this year, but they already sold out by the time I was looking at it.
right.
Oh, really?
They sold out passes.
Yeah, well, they sold out in. It's only like a 2-hour drive for me. It wasn't that bad, and it was like, okay, I can go up for 4 days and come back. But I saw that, I figured take my son with me. But when they have Millennium Con again, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
There's a con in June that George and Dave want me to come out for in New York, and I'm just like,
Is that the central New York? Is that the one that the Central New York Con is the one that Bloodworth always goes to?
I'm not sure, but they're the Emperor's Choice guys are going to be there, and they want me to show up. But it's like June is when Jackie graduates, and I don't know what day that's going to be. And because if ideally I would drag his ass with me to New York, and we'd go do the con together. But the chances are I'm not going to be able to make it because his graduation is going to be. Like the middle of the month or something. And
Right.
I'm not missing. Late. I'm not missing his high school graduation for anything. Obviously,
that's fair.
Yeah, but that seems pretty late, mid-June.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not 100%. Okay.
Well, it depends on. I mean, it depends on like how the school district works their schedules for.
I know. I just meant that always gets me is that they would do it so late for school. Is what I mean is.
Yeah, I know they. Yeah, they do it because they take too many days off during the year.
Well, I mean, we used to get out of school.
Mine was early June. It was like the
the
week after.
When I was growing up, we got out of school after Father's Day, but they changed that because so many kids were going to school and didn't have dads in the picture. They had to change that. So that no kids would feel, ways when they were asked to make a Father's Day gift in class and had no father to make a gift for.
I don't know. I know
that's what I heard.
Here they were moving stuff up earlier in the year, so it's now like mid-August when they start. So they finish up the semester before Christmas.
So that's not.
And then they start a new semester. When you come back, which I always thought was stupid, is hey, we can give you a 2-week break, and then we're going to have 2 more weeks for your semester. Like,
right?
Why?
Hey, Cal, are there like exact specifics that these minis are supposed to be assembled, like legs and torso, or is it like a choose your own adventure?
Key A fits into tab B or whatever. Tab A slot B.
Because I can see some of them being optional, but if there are specifics, I'll look them up before I start gluing them together. And I don't have any epoxy, so super glue might be what I'm going to use.
Man, I don't like I love gluing metal minis with epoxy. The problem is the last 2 times I bought epoxy, it dried out before I could finish it. It's worse than super glue.
I've bought epoxy lately, and it was dry when I got home.
There you go.
I
irritating. I the 2-part epoxy, and I got.
Nope. Choose wisely.
I did for card effects with the arms, and this was one of the old metal minis, and I got him a beetle gold. You know how they have that greenish gold color on beetles? Yeah. I was really proud of that one, but I'm not saying it was great, for how I did
I'm a
it.
big fan of that, and there's another less green but still kind of green gold that's like kind of like the same color. If you ever looked at a fly and their
Yeah,
eyes have that color,
Iridescent
iridescence. Yeah.
green.
hmm
Well, see, I love iridescence, and if I was going to do, I have time. Well, see, I'm not even sure where they are, but I'll have to ask my parents. But, um, I had oh, I probably had like 1,000 Space Marines just collected over time, and probably hundreds and hundreds of just gene
Women
stealers and
head
stuff
the
like that.
Cyclops. That's freaking awesome.
But yeah, to me, I always wanted them to look more like beetles than aliens. I always wanted them to look more like insects because those are alien enough. And I love the
Right. I did a bunch of those. Hold on a second. I did a bunch of
Pinning. Okay.
termagants
yep.
with the turbo dork paint.
Okay.
And the turbo dork, you really need to airbrush it on because the way the crystals are in the paint, it needs to go applied in one direction, not two. So it works better. You could put on with a Q-tip if you wanted to, but it works better with an airbrush. And I've got a bunch of them in one of my drawers here. Hold on a second.
Well, I just want to say for James L, here's 5 Leagues from the Borderlands and compared to, Parsecs. It's a bit thicker. Um, but, the old Games Workshop used to include the stuff in the 90s. They used to include things like scorpions. It was meant to, even if you had kind of a semi-tournament. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I was trying to show them the how much thicker it is for the 5 Leagues in the Borderlands. But no, that's a good one. I read it. I read this, and it seems like it'd be kind of fun. I just need to set stuff up. We'll see. When I build a house, I plan on getting a big board and doing stuff. Then I can play, and then I have to tell my son to have a lot of children. So I'll have people play with.
Yeah, well, I didn't tell you, Omen. I told Shadwo. I'm thinking that I can get my 8-year-old to start gaming with us.
Nice.
Obviously, that's
Cool.
no Savage Swords, but
Well,
but I think
here's the thing: is it's not that I even mind having kids play. It's just as long as they're going to have fun. But my
Take care,
son,
Grandma. Best
when he
wishes.
plays his fifth edition game, they have, I kid you not, 10 to 15 kids playing at once.
right.
And I'm like, this is nuts. And about half of them are girls. So, it just amazes me for that. And then the guy who runs it, when it came on the summer, because it was an after school thing at the library, he said, hey, we're going to, invite the kids over. And so that was hectic enough because he has 5 kids of his own.
Oh yeah.
He has 5 kids of his own, and then he invites about 10 more kids over. And then the parents, of course, come with kids. So I was there. Anyway, it was fun. I sat there reading, I read a book as these like 3-year-olds are like using me as a punching bag. So
No, that sounds like a lot, and that's the thing because like my kids, my oldest, no, pardon me, my middle boy plays occasionally with his friends, but they have it's a 5e game. It's a straight D&D,
sure.
new D&D, and again, it's really none of my business how they play their games or have their fun.
Yeah.
But if the youngest boy, if he wants to play, I don't know, a game with us.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to play some old school
We'll tone
D&D.
it down if you want him to play, or I'll tone it down at least. We won't use the double entendres and everything else that's inappropriate for
Oh,
children.
you won't get those. That's fine. But you know what I mean. No,
Yeah, the only person I could see maybe having an issue might be uh, OG, just because uh, he didn't sign up for that. I know he'd be a good guy about it, but he might be like, yeah, I want Savage Swords to be Savage
well,
Swords.
that more. We're not playing Savage Swords. It would be for our Bears and Borderlands game. Obviously not. I don't think he. I don't. I wouldn't feel comfortable with him playing Savage Swords because I
I would
expect.
just prefer not playing with kids. I prefer like playing with people more my age
Yeah.
or older.
You're
Well,
all kids.
that's all
I
there
was gonna
is
say
to you, young.
you're a kid.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
by your standards, I am, but I mean, I also have a
actually,
kid of my own, so
my
So how old?
son was decided to play Dungeon Crawl Classics.
oh, I'm
One of
sorry.
my friends decided to run it. No, Dungeon Crawl Classics is fine. It was. I'd like to play past the
Nice.
first level, just because But it's so funny because it's so different than 5e, and he enjoyed both of them. So, you know,
Hunter,
I
how old's your boy or your daughter?
Uh,
yeah.
he is. I gotta remember if he's. I don't know why I'm spacing out. He either just. Hold on.
What year was he born?
I'm trying to remember. Well, I know when he was born. I'm trying to remember if he had just turned 6 or just turned 7 this past year. His birthday's in November.
Okay, that's
It's a good
fine.
thing your wife isn't nearby. Just
So
saying.
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
not
You're
be
on
married,
the edge.
nice.
so
Oh, okay.
mom's not in the picture at all. So
Oh, okay. Wow, you must be a hell of a guy then.
I try my best. My parents, I don't live too far away from them. They help me out with a lot, so I can work and provide. So
Well,
Sure.
no,
Well,
what I
that's
mean
good.
is the odds of that being the case is very unique.
It
yeah,
just
it's
depends.
it's a whole story that I would have to share offline because it would
We're
take up
not
the
doing that.
entire
We're not
show.
doing
Yeah,
that. We're not here. We're not doing that. What's up, Death Angel? You
yes,
know
I
where
have
the
a
link.
kid, Death Angel.
You know where the link is. Guys. You guys want to come in and talk minis and games and not politics and not current events and not other
But
stuff. Tonight had
No, no, no.
a
If
week
if
full
we're
of
gonna do
it.
stuff, I want to do. If we're gonna do that, is I'm trying to think. Does anyone have a modern tabletop game? I'm trying to think. I know they're out there, but I can't
I
think of
just got
any.
this one. Where have you been?
I mean, there's Shadow Dark. I would consider that
Conspiracy
one. Wait,
Files. No,
wait,
no,
you
no.
mean
I'm
That,
modern
modern.
that's a
as in like the
tabletop
setting,
game.
or like modern as in like a recent?
I mean, as in, um, like modern weaponry,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
with
mean,
oh,
armor
that's
and things like
easy.
that.
Blacklight for Shadow Dark.
isn't that
No, no. I'm
It's
not
not a
Victor
referring to that.
tabletop
I'm
Gorgev?
game though.
referring
It's an
to
RPG,
miniature games.
a war game.
Oh, miniature.
Oh,
You didn't specify.
Yeah.
My bad.
I didn't hear that either.
No, no. I've
I
got
did.
plenty of stuff if I want to do that. I mean, the whole world of darkness is modern. You
You
know,
know, right, Cal?
I mean,
And
um,
is the one you just showed, Hunter? Is that from Victor Gorchev?
Yes, the Blacklight is from Victor Gordchev, and I
Okay.
also own his OSE Modern Necessities. I actually
Yeah,
had him on my stream on Friday, so we talked about
I just
these.
reviewed those from him a while ago. I'm not buying his Shadow Dark stuff because I'm not a. I'm in a Shadow Dark game and I'm helping write, or not helping write, but I'm helping OG with his superhero Shadow Dark stuff. But I'm not buying any Shadow Dark project products
One of these is
because
when it hasn't been a game.
I've already got like 12 to 15 games that are the same game but better, or
Right. Say no
yeah,
more. Say no
they're
more.
more for you. Is the thing is I
yeah.
guess I mean
Like I said, I'm playing it. I'm giving it a fair shot. And I've been playing it for 6 months every other Saturday with RPG Grandma and Mike and Jen, and Cal was in it for a while. It's just there's things about it. If it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be playing it.
I hear
I
you.
mean it's for me like I have enough BX clones, and actually I find it funny is with the axe stuff is it's like, well, if I need something for BX, let me just pull out Axe, and so I can find out how to do this. Oh, look, it has rules for this. Let me pull out Axe. Um, Here, I need demographics. Let me pull out Axe.
Yeah.
So
Did you see my? Did you ever watch the video I did, Shadow, about all the D&D like games that I owned?
No, I did not. Going to
Oh,
be
it was
brutally
literally
honest.
it was just a Friday night thing where I had nothing planned, so I decided it was actually based on an argument I had with some friends about like if just because if it's D&D doesn't mean it stands on its own or whatever. So I had like a stack of like I don't know like maybe 20 to 30 different books I owned that I would consider like D&D like or D&D clones
Hmm.
that I've just bought over the years. And so, but I think there's a lot of games that where they are like clones or D&D like they deserve to be recognized as like almost their own product and not just another clone.
Yes
Well,
and no. Some yes, some
are
no.
they compatible? Is the big
Yeah.
thing.
And I don't know who it is, but I'm hearing myself echo back from someone.
Did you turn off your YouTube?
My YouTube's not on.
Hey,
But
what's up, OG? We were just talking about you. Nothing good, of course.
well, I mean, if you start looking at stuff, like I've got Hyperborea, which is okay. I've got OSC, which,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got Axe, and they're all cross compatible to the point that it really, to pull one character out for the other is just minor changes. They're like 95% compatible. It's like what first edition and second edition Dungeons and Dragons. They're 95% compatible. Um, it's enough that it's minor tweaks. I think the bigger issues are, yeah. Anyway, that I think that sometimes people forget about that. It's like, well, what am I actually buying? Which reminds me, I'm looking forward to the one that they're going to be doing in was it May for OSC when they're going to do a lot of the demons and stuff.
Yeah. Saw that.
Yeah, I didn't like OSC. I own it, and I'm giving it away to a friend of mine soon. I just got to find a way to get it to New Zealand without it costing twice what the actual product is worth or
What you
cost.
should do is instead just buy and print on demand and just ship it within New Zealand.
Yeah,
That's
but the problem is I don't want it, and
I understand.
then
Why
I'd
don't you
have
just
then I'd be paying for two well, somebody sent me the original copy I have of OSC,
yeah.
and then I got to give away two copies.
Oh, that's so terrible. You give away two copies, one in the US and one for your friend over in New Zealand.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get the new version of OSC that they're going to release. I may stick with the original one and not
I
worry about getting the new version.
Well, I don't see enough reason in getting the new versions for a lot of stuff. I've done it. I did the one for Alien. It's really close. Um, I mean, I do like the fixes that they've done for Alien Evolved, especially some of it's just made it easier and faster to play. I do some of the things I said. It looks like they added stuff that without really adding things when I started doing the math in my head. But yeah, when I start looking at stuff, I've got enough of BX and D&D clones. I've been going back and looking at second edition, and I knock second edition, but they have a lot of good ideas. My issue really were all the kits that they had that they never play
Sure.
tested. That was my
Sure.
issue with
Well,
it.
kits were the stuff that I don't like about 5e. The stuff I don't like started with the kits in second edition AD&D.
And that's why I don't like non-weapon proficiencies. I think they're bad too.
what I don't like about what Death Angel? Sorry.
Oh, he's asking what you don't like about Shadow Dark, I think,
Oh,
or
okay.
OSC.
I don't like the rolling up of abilities when you go up a level. I really, really don't like that a lot because uh, it's like it doesn't make
It's too
sense.
random.
It is. Even if there was like a longer list, that would make it worse. And the fact that you only get one every couple of levels, that's fine. But if you keep like rolling the same one, you can get like a really weird lopsided character. And I think that if you design the character like let's just say you're designing like a ranger, okay, there are some specific things that they should get maybe at incremental levels that make more sense than randomly their stats go up, or they get more damage or pluses to hit here or there, or better yet, if you're going to do that, just make it like you pick one from the list. That way, at least the player has some agency and can kind of like move toward like some sort of goal that they want their character to be more like, as opposed to just randomly. I've never picked up a projectile weapon. I'm a melee fighter, but I rolled and now I'm plus with you know ranged weapons. Or stuff like that.
Yeah, but
The other
a
thing I
lot of
don't
that
like.
stuff is, how do I put that? that was the old style of if you want a quick and random play, which is why I think that why it's why it's popular is that it was simple enough for people in 5e not to have to learn a whole big rule set, and
I
it was
know, I
very
know.
dangerous.
And
And
and,
that's
and
why
to be honest,
it's not I don't call it a bad game, but I admit it's not one of those that's really deep. That said, as I did back their newer Kickstarter, and I need to go look at what they're doing for that, where they're going to do the West Marches and stuff. But even if you look at the old D&D, the white box, it follows more like how a white box was than
yeah.
first
I also
edition.
hate I also hate the slot system for inventory. Uh, Not because I hate slot systems for inventory, but I hate the fact that whoever created that specific slot system has no concept of how much things weigh and how much space they actually take up.
All other
Well,
covered systems are completely crap though in comparison because it's either the stupid coin weights or you gotta figure out like how many slots it does take if you're using OSC. Honestly, the slot version should be the way everything works. It's just a game after all in the end. It shouldn't matter about all entirely about like yeah, your battle axe is pretty heavy. That's why it takes 2 slots on your inventory.
Right,
I
but
mean,
look at it this way. I do a lot of camping and backpacking, or at least I have, and prepping, and I know how much things, like for example, the 50 feet of rope takes 1 slot, but yet 2 torches take up a slot. I can make 50 torches, okay, let's say 25 torches out of 100 feet of rope.
yeah, I think people that don't realize how heavy and bulky rope really is,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
especially like
But you're also
medieval
trying to be
hemp
super
rope.
realistic with it, and that doesn't fit in a TTRPG. Mechanics
Okay,
and
no,
realism
I
are not the
agree.
same thing.
There is a line between the simulation and representation in RPGs, and that's an argument that's been going on longer than I've been alive.
And to be honest, I'm okay with like the original coin system was fine.
No,
It
it
was
was a
wasn't
pain in
literally
the ass to track. That's the
Dude,
issue
there
with
should
it.
be no encumbrance for coins, in my opinion. That's a stupid rule to have. Encumbrance for coins.
I
What? How many silver coins have you tried to carry?
have you
I
Silver's
watched
usually
heavy.
Ben
spend
Hur?
all my coins. That's why I think it's
Did you
dumb.
You
watch
got
You
to
Ben
shouldn't
carry
be
it
Hur?
carrying
out of
that
the
many
battle.
coins.
No, no. OSR games, especially, are resource management and survival games. You getting the treasure is easy. Getting out of the dungeon with the treasure is the hard part.
yeah,
When you're carrying around 500 pounds of treasure on your back, and you don't get the experience points until you get that back to
Well, okay,
town.
carrying coin and carrying treasure are two different things to me. So, like,
See. Well. No. If you're looking at it is, and I don't like the 10-to-1, which I guess the way they looked at it, because that's a
thank you, Cal.
huge gold
I
piece.
would rather it be 10 to 1 than the 50 to 1 or the 100 to the 50 or whatever crap that OSR games like to do. I'd rather have the 10 to 1.
Wait a
Easy
minute.
conversions.
I just convert everything to pounds. In any game I run, we're converting everything to pounds. That's fine. It's easy peasy. You know how many pounds you can carry. A loaded pack weighs about 35 pounds.
Yeah,
Fine.
I mean, the usual thing of, well, no, 10-to-1 for coins are huge coins. Is my point.
Yeah, those coins are as big as this magnifying lens.
I mean, if you look at how big that is, and if you look at a lot of the like gold coins were actually fairly small.
That's
Um,
yep.
right. Gold coins are
it's
smaller than dimes.
and then if you start looking at it, I don't know if did you ever watch Ben Hur?
Yes.
Right.
Familiar with it, never seen it.
So there's one part where
Ooh.
he's doing this thing and he takes the rod out and he has a box and the box does not look that big and he puts the rod down to show that it's coins all the way to the bottom, you know, and you know it takes 4 people to carry the box of coins.
Exactly.
You know, people have no concept of how heavy metal is.
Yeah.
Um,
Precious metal is precious. I mean, precious metals are really dense and really heavy.
and,
Absolutely,
and
100%.
go carry a kettlebell. I mean, it's
Yeah. Get a
Right,
40 pound kettlebell, or whatever, and
yeah.
carry that sucker around. And
I
that's
mean,
pig iron.
Especially
That's
in the
pig
lower
iron.
levels, Hunter. In the lower level games, you often would literally need to be counting those silver, maybe even those copper in some cases, because that's all you were getting in this particular adventure. So you need to carry those coins out. And I've got a jar of $200 in quarters. Okay, it's got to be like 20 pounds.
And those are copper quarters. Now imagine if they were
I,
silver quarters.
I
Mhm.
mean, just you
And,
know,
and and later on,
That's just
obviously,
20 pounds.
maybe you've got a Scrooge McDuck. Maybe you've got a bag of holding or a pouch of holding, or you can afford some henchmen to carry the stuff. It's not a big deal. But on your first couple of adventures, when every little thing matters,
Right.
knowing what you can carry. And I've been in games of Shadow Dark where I literally went into a dungeon and could not carry any treasure home because the food and water took up all my spaces.
Yeah, that's the one thing I also don't like about Shadow. That's one thing, main thing I don't like about Shadow Dark mostly is the mostly unless you do the pulp rule of killing monsters also gain XP. The only way you can really gain XP is by collecting treasure, and like you just said, you couldn't even carry treasure sometimes.
No,
So
But you
not
want to know
sometimes.
something?
Like literally, like 9 out of 10 times, I'd have to have my friends. You're carrying the treasure because I'm carrying these things that we need, including my food and water. And mind you, I was running characters with strengths of like 9, so I couldn't carry shit. You know, you gotta do the thing, and with no
Well, it's part of the
henchmen.
game. That's the whole point of, again, like a real OSR game. That's more the problem solving. And Gary Gygax intended for that. This is not a bug. This is a feature.
Mhm.
Well, the
And
look, I have a lot of issues with 1E, training being a big one for the
Mhm.
cost, um, especially if you're a thief or a
Could
cleric.
be, yeah,
It's
good.
like you're going to spend more training than it does to get you up a level. That's what
Whoa,
gets me about
whoa,
other
whoa, whoa,
games.
whoa, whoa! Death Angel. Thought we were friends. You absolutely should get XP for killing things.
yes, you should exactly.
Well,
I'm ambivalent, but you should definitely get XP for gold. And then when they take away the XP for gold,
I
that
do
really,
agree with the XP for gold thing. I just don't like how Shadow Dark makes it like the main thing unless you do the optional rules for killing
well,
monsters.
that's an OD&D thing, right?
yeah, but that's an optional thing. Well, what it does is XP for any game is encourages players to act in certain ways.
And
That's
Exactly.
really like
Whatever you regulate, you get more of.
I kind of like
yeah,
the way 2E kind of looked at it, where some people get more or less XP for certain things. Because if you're a thief, you're not a murderer. You're not a killer. That's the fighter's job. So you should get more XP for the money. If you're a magic user, you should get more XP for doing magic user stuff,
yeah.
cleric,
Ooh,
etc. Fighters. If you're a fighter, that you should get the most XP anybody can get for
That
killing
is
things.
actually something I found out recently about Barrows of Borderlands. If you look in I believe it's the adventuring booklet, he actually put in a rule where fighters get more
Mhm.
experience points compared to
Yep.
other classes because how they expect the magic user to level up is through the learning of the spells more than
Yes.
anything else.
I'm going to
Which
mention one thing though is the problem of giving XP for killing monsters is it encourages you to kill monsters.
and
And
and and the villagers and the bartenders and the wenches and everything else because hey, it rewards
But
you
well,
for
a
Death
killing
smart
Angel,
things.
player isn't
but
that
Death
stupid and
Angel,
wouldn't do that though.
well,
If you got
here's
smart
the thing
players,
that's
Death
Wait, you
Angel,
said smart players?
if I can berate you in person. What if you're the fighter and the mission is to kill the dragon? Then you damn well should get a crap ton of XP for killing that dragon.
here's the real point
And one
is
of the
No,
core missions should be
I
killing.
I no, I disagree, Shadow. I agree. You should get a lot of XP, but not for killing the dragon. For finishing the mission. Let's.
yeah.
well,
I'll put the
both.
distinction there.
Well, no. The distinction is that
Okay,
you
what
get
if
the
the
gold
mission
with the
is to kill
dragon,
as
and you get
many?
the
What if
princess,
the
and you
mission
get
is to kill as
lands,
many
and you get
X's as possible? And I don't mean
well, no.
X's, X's. I mean
Well, you
like
don't.
say it's a bounty on goblins or it's a bounty on wolves. You should get XP per
Right,
wolf.
but not for killing them. For finishing the mission. What if you just drove them away? Would it be just as good?
No,
Not if
it
the
would
Yes.
mission
not be
says
good
If you banish
because they'll
them to
come
a
back.
different, nah, maybe not. The point of the
So
story is everything should be it should be game dependent, not just X experience point. Okay, if you
I would
see a
say
pack
killing
of
monsters is
wolves,
very game dependent, though.
right? But if you see a pack of wolves or goblins on the side of the road and you kill them, you shouldn't get as many experience points as if the Duke of Northumberland said, "Go out and kill all the wolves." That's a big difference.
I'm going to bring this up because there are a couple things I found out when I was playing Axe because I like on how Axe actually puts little rewards next to each of the monsters. That's one of the things I did. And what we found out is that if you start getting gold for defeating the monsters, however you want to do it. But we found out that when you sold them into slavery, you could get more gold than if you killed them. So instead of being a murder hobo, you suddenly come back with a bunch of them. Everyone jokes about it, but I mean, here's your choice. Hey guys, I am going to genocide all the goblins I find. Or you say, well, look, I'm not going to kill you, but you're going to be sold into slavery. Which would you prefer? You know, it does.
And that was a big part of AD&D, especially, was subduing monsters.
Oh yeah, especially in if we're going to talk about OSC BX, which is really what it is, it's BX. Until you get to advanced OSC,
it's still BX.
I kind of look
what?
at it like
It's BX.
each
OSC
character,
is BX.
each character.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think each character type should have its own like XP table, like what they get XP for. If you're an assassin, or say you're a fighter or a soldier, killing things is your job.
But no, actually, that was a rule in AD&D. No, it wasn't the first. The first assassin, you did only get XP for completing missions.
it was a bad class. I'll be honest. It never seemed to.
I didn't say it was a bad class. I said it's absolutely true that you got XP for completing their assassin missions, not for just random.
My issue with
that's
a lot
kind
of
of splitting hairs, isn't it, Bo? If you're an assassin and you complete the mission because you killed the guy,
right? But it's not for killing just any guy in the street. The assassin didn't kill somebody because he wanted to. It wasn't a personal vendetta. He killed someone because that was his job.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why give? I would, if I'm awarding experience points for quote unquote killing a monster, it's not for killing the monster. It's because you did the thing that the king or the duke or the lord or whatever paid you to do. You finished the mission. It's to discourage players from killing stuff for shits and giggles.
Thank you, Cal. Why can't we just murder hobo like in the olden days?
Well, you're not getting experience points for that.
Here's the funny thing is,
so
this is what gets me about it is, if you actually look at it, it discouraged you from murder hoboing because things were so deadly. It's like, oh yeah, when we talk about, when you had 15 hit points, yeah, you might be able to take one or two arrow shots, but it was still kind of dead.
Oh, you're wearing camis.
And so the other part is, it encouraged, how do I want to say this? It encouraged players to be much more of a stealthy look around.
Yes.
Stuff.
Yes, again, I want to encourage players to think of whatever it is they're doing first, and killing things for killing's sake, like way on down the line. Because if you start killing in town, the town guard is eventually going to kill all of you, especially if I'm the DM.
There's one thing that hasn't been brought up yet that I feel like a lot of the game masters forget. There's this magic world actually that if you use it, stops the player from doing anything. Like a player tells you, I want to attack that shopkeep. You say, no. That's all you got to do. Tell them no. Because you're the game master.
No, I agree with that. And I am the game master. But one thing I never
was bonus points tonight, Hunter.
If a player tells me that they're going to do something, I never say, are you sure you want to do that? I say, roll a die and see what happens. Yeah. That's player agency. Player agency says, I killed the bartender. I say, okay, you kill the bartender. No takebacks, no do-overs.
Yeah, that's I don't say no. I don't tell players no.
And that's right. I don't tell players.
And that's a problem we have with the modern gaming today.
It's not.
Say no.
It's not enough saying no. It's not holding players accountable for their actions.
Well. Here's the thing: is at the end of the day, is I have no problems telling a player, "You sure you want to do that?" The weird thing is every player I've ever talked to is like, "Yes, I'm sure I want to do this." Okay,
good, absolutely, freaking bring it on, Decepticon.
But I mean, the weirder one is. Here's what it really comes down to: is every game has it. Numenera, it's about exploration. For D&D, it's about second edition was much more combat oriented because that's where you almost got all of your experience points for killing. But you should get 1 XP per mile traveled if you're playing MERP.
No, he's talking about him cutting down trees tomorrow. He's got a crap ton of trees to cut down and process them for firewood. Honestly, I would be looking at awarding you like you take each task, right? Say there's like steps. Like say there's 10 steps. You got to do this, then you got to do this, then this, then this, and this, and each step would be about 50 XP to maybe 100. If there's a chance you could like cut off your hand doing the thing, then that would be like 100. If it's just hard labor and just repetitive, monkey work, that's like 25 an hour, something like that. And so maybe at the end of the day, you might have, maybe 800.
It's 1 gold piece per cord of wood cut.
Ouch. Ah, man, that's actually. What's a cord of wood cost? $500? $1,000?
No, I just bought one for 300.
Seasoned.
I got a full giant enormous cord, probably even extra, delivered to my house 3 months and 3 weeks ago today,
Okay.
for $300.
And
But
silver's
Death
going,
Angel-
for like $80 an ounce right now. $70 an ounce.
So generally, I've been
Maybe.
using, and I know things have changed just because of weird inflation, but I use about 1 gold would be about the equivalent of $1,000.
You might want to post a link to this in the chat again, Shadow, because Death Angel was asking for it.
Oh, okay. You don't know where to go in my Discord? Oh my god.
I don't know if he's part of your Discord.
He
I
should
thought,
be.
I thought the rule
Well,
was you couldn't get on the
so-
show unless you were in the Discord.
So part of it is, and this is the real problem with players, is players are willing to, a lot of them just want to go, not think, and just kill something,
Exactly.
which is fine if you're going to do that. But when you do it, it removes a lot of the reason. It's the same reason that, and I know that everyone gets bored supposedly with orcs and goblins, but I actually like orcs and goblins as threats to society and civilization. Maybe I'm more of Warhammer kind of style. But most players don't. There's a reason that the players learned orc or kobold or stuff like this, and the problem is that it's never used. It's like, well, you have so many languages, okay, and then some of it gets bypassed.
Welcome to the show, Death Angel.
Comprehend languages, which
I agree with
actually
you.
is
100%.
I think that there needs to be a lot more in there as far as danger, because I like danger in it. And that's why I think that sometimes 5th level is kind of a sweet spot for adventuring. You don't get nothing's completely ridiculous, but you can do some pretty
Death
cool
Angel,
stuff.
are you streaming from a Sunday school class?
What are you
Yeah.
talking?
Does
Yeah.
that not look like that?
Well, yeah, when I look
How-
at his wall,
How?
Oh, there he is.
I mean, come on. All right.
so you
Yeah,
bought
but
the Sunday school.
the piano and the whiteboard over there, it just like I just got
what's
teleported back to my Sunday school when I was young.
Shadow, you were never in Sunday school. Come on.
Yeah, I actually was.
You know what that is over here? This here. Can you see the whole calendar? I have.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like a
framing.
calendar to me.
This is a calendar. Do you know what
yeah.
these are?
No, it's too far.
AeryCon is listed here. Mythicon West, EggCon.
Okay, I hate you.
ShireCon.
I'm so mad at you right now. Get off my stream. You get to go to cons. I haven't been to a con. The last con I went to was Wizard World, I think, in Long
I didn't
Beach.
say I was going there. I'm trying to mark them so I can plan my own damn con.
Well, I went to this con, right? This was before my favorite TV show of all time was
Babylon 5.
No, close, but no. It was Firefly. I walked into the convention and the cast of Firefly is standing over here. I walk right by them, didn't know who the hell they were, didn't give two shits, went about my business, and then years later I went, oh my God. I just walked by them like they were nobodies, and I could have like shook hands, got some autographs.
Well, that's everybody. Nobody else knew who they were either.
No,
Well, the problem is that I went and I saw
that was
like
the
one
full
episode.
thing, and I was just like,
I didn't have a television at the time either.
I didn't either. Well, no, in 2000, I didn't have a TV either.
I
did.
had TV.
I like
it was
Firefly,
2002 or
but
something.
Firefly is my favorite. Sorry, bro.
I would have liked to have seen more. I mean,
Well-
everybody would have, but I think if it would have kind of like with Babylon 5. Once you get past the first season and into season 2, and especially once you hit season
See,
3.
Shadow knows how I feel about that. If a book doesn't grab me in the first 100 pages, I won't finish it. If a TV show doesn't grab me by the second episode, I'll stop. And
See,
Babylon 5, I never got past like the fifth episode.
oh, you
I
missed like it. I mean,
No, it doesn't matter.
I know, I get it.
I'm not feeling
Look,
any regrets over it.
But
look.
the next generation took a good season before it got going.
Exactly. But the thing is, the difference is,
Before
I
it got
never
like
saw the first. I think I picked up Next Generation like in the third or fourth season when it was still on TV. So I didn't see the first two seasons until years later, and I don't know if I ever finished the second season.
Because
So my
of Next
Tasha
my
Generation.
Yar,
problem was
Yes,
Oh, dude.
hot garbage.
Babylon 5 when it was out. You couldn't catch up until they put it on TNT, which was when they did their season 5, and they showed every episode every day, and that was the way I was able to do it in the morning. But considering all the crap I watched in the 90s, from Xena Warrior Princess to Hercules, and that were all
Yeah.
Send me
bad.
a link, James L.
yeah, but like
Um,
in 90 when Babylon 5 came out, I was 21 in Vegas, man. The last thing I was doing was staying at the house in Vegas
Exactly.
watching
Yeah.
TV. I was going out chasing Keno runners and cocktail waitresses. Yeah, I was like,
I remember I started watching Firefly. I got 4 episodes in, and then I don't watch TV all the time, so I
Nice.
went like
Upgrade.
a couple weeks without watching it. And then when I remembered, oh, I need to finish Firefly, I logged back in. It was gone. They took it down.
See, I watched one episode with my father because I was visiting, and then because I didn't have a television. And it wasn't until I went to college in 2005, my friend's like, "Oh, you should see this series called Firefly." And then it just so happened that I was able to catch up before Serenity came out.
Hey,
Right.
The movie.
Death Angel,
Exactly.
don't get me wrong. Prior to uh, Firefly existing, Babylon 5 was my favorite show. But simply put, when I saw Firefly and I saw the way the characters interacted and how like a real family they seemed to be and how much they seemed to like each other on and off camera, I could see that and sense that. With
yeah,
Babylon 5, I always could feel this sort of, maybe it was meant to be like the military professional tension between
yeah.
characters. Even like uh what's his name in Delenn, I couldn't picture
Oh,
them.
Sheridan and Delenn,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't picture them as a real couple. You know what I mean? It's just they just seemed really, really stiff. And maybe it was just the era, but there was no like passion. You know what I mean? It was like an arranged marriage. It seemed.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
okay with that because they were military, and she was that's what I
And
expected
she was
from
an
them.
ambassador.
Sure,
Yeah.
but like with
But
with Inara and Mal, there was like that sexual tension, and you could just see the spark between them. You know what I mean? You could just feel it, or at least I could. Maybe I was just shipping, and
yeah, but
maybe
I mean, I didn't see that much tension between the what was it Miranda Baccarin and the Gotham guy, and yet she cheated on her husband and had a kid with him. So it's
I'm not really familiar with her off-camera existence.
no.
Who's that?
Well, she had a part in Gotham, which was the TV show, which I enjoyed actually.
Okay.
Um,
See,
but
my space show growing up when I was a kid was Power Rangers in Space.
You're
That
still a
was
kid.
my space show. I am
well,
33. Thank you
Yeah.
very
no,
much.
no.
Kid.
Being older
That's
than
okay,
you
dude.
are,
We're not
do
going
you
to
know
hold
what our
that
space
against
show
you
was?
until
It
after
was
you're off
Star
the camera, and then we'll
Blazers.
joke about you behind your
It
back
was
like a proper.
Unmercifully.
Star Blazers, and what was the other one that came out at the same time? It was the Power Rangers without American actors, as I remember seeing that in the late 70s.
Yeah, I
See,
remember I watched all of Power Rangers up until
Nice
the end
upgrade.
of the Wild Force, and for some reason after the Wild Force series of Power Rangers, none of them felt the same after that. For some reason, like they all just kind of fell flat.
I,
yeah, but
I, I had a girlfriend who had
Lies.
a no, I've never had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend who had a kid, and because of that, I saw all of the Power Rangers with Tommy the Green Ranger, that era. And after that, when we were not the thing, Power Rangers completely disappeared off my radar. Thank God.
So
Oh,
the,
hold on. If I can
here's
try to
my
get
issue.
back here.
It's the Japanese version, the true Japanese original
Yeah,
1970s stuff
I know all
was
about that.
what was bloody and gory and like
And
they
rapey.
cut over. They would cut like
And
one of the
rapey.
aliens
It
out, and then
was.
another one would pop out of its stomach, and it would go over, and they'd have to fight even more. And I was like, and then I saw Power Rangers, like, what the crap is this? You've
Yeah.
dumbified
So
these.
The Pink Ranger, her origin story includes a little bit of grapey stuff. So
so
Yikes, man.
I have a buddy in Australia that does like laser wood engraving stuff,
yeah,
and
we
I
all
had
know Australia doesn't exist, but
I
okay.
have a girlfriend in Canada. Same thing, right?
See?
I had this made after Tommy died. So I had this, and then I got just throw all white dice because I like White Ranger more than the Green Ranger. So
I, I think
Racist.
I know too many people in Canada and I've been into Canada, so I know it exists.
well,
No,
most
That's
Australia
racist.
does.
I didn't say
Australia, right
Canada
there in
doesn't
the
exist.
mountains.
I said Canadian girlfriends aren't real.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to say that California didn't exist.
I
They
kind of
are. They're
wish it
called
did, and I was in
Bigfoot.
Texas.
They
But
just don't
you
shave.
know,
All my exes live in Texas.
Do they?
Well, no.
That's why you live in. That's why I live in Tennessee. No.
All my exes. Oh my gosh, did you see that? That's the worst. I just splashed red paint all across this mini. Fuck.
It's blood. No, wait.
It's casualty. It's a casualty.
Ah, it's
Um,
not gonna come off. Well, we'll get paint over it like right now. Shit.
well, I
I
mean, I'm
think I
trying to
still
think
have.
of.
I think yeah, I think I still have the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics in a box somewhere, and
The
they're
black
probably
and
worth.
white.
Yeah, they're worth
Those
like.
are pretty valuable. At least they were before the bottom dropped out of the comic industry. So those are
And
the
JJ
I
originals.
says I have a girlfriend. She just goes to another school. Well, I will not
Exactly.
tell Ree.
so
I will not.
so I actually back when Blockbusters roamed the earth, I actually used to rent VHS tapes of the old
Blockbusters
Teenage Mutant
roam
Ninja
the earth.
Turtles.
Nice.
I used to rent VHS tapes that had like episodes of the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on. But I
You mean
will
the
say
old
that
ones?
growing up with
There
the
was more
Fox
than
Kids
one.
Saturday morning, the 2000s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was not that bad for what it
I
was.
didn't know they made one in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was
I,
Like
I kind of stopped.
every 10 years they make like they make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um,
So
they
I
kind
when
of reboot the thing.
I
and
aged
they
out of
keep
comics, at probably about maybe 12 or 13, right? Started getting into other stuff.
Sure.
And I didn't get back into Animaniacs we would watch and Pinky and the Brain and stuff like that because while we were waiting for everybody to show up to play Shadowrun. So that was the next time I watched any cartoons was during that. And then after that would have been probably when I was married and raised my stepson and he watched Blue's Clues.
Adult
Ugh.
Swim. Adult Swim.
yeah
Oh
back
yeah,
in
Johnny Bravo and stuff, but
What
All
the?
right. As a registered nurse in an acute psychiatric facility, I will tell you that in any given psych hospital and or prison, they're watching Adult Swim right this minute.
so there
Adult Swim is on
the
24 hours a day in psych wards and prisons.
so the
Really?
TMNT series that I grew up with was released. It was aired in 2003 and it lasted for 7 seasons,
Maybe that's the one that
which
my
is
son
quite a long
saw.
time.
I can't remember. Well, my son was a big one. I got Kevin Eastman to sign a poster for him because he usually comes over to Bell County Con. Um, he comes to Comic Con over in Bell County, so that's always good. And he was happy because I said, "Hey, can you just make it out to my son instead of just asking for a signature?" So he seemed quite thrilled by that because he knew that was a fan, not just a, "Hey, I'm doing
He's
this
going to
to
sell it on
put it out."
eBay.
Yeah, exactly. Um, it was very flattering. I will say as much. He was a real gentleman. He always flattering to other artists and stuff like that. That were doing things. He says because it was a different artist that had done it. He says, "Yeah, I really like this artist. This artist does this." And it's like, "Oh, okay." Real class act.
Oh,
Real class act.
when
right.
hey Shadow, when are you going to be on one of our Babylon 5 streams?
I'm working on it.
Gotta let me know what because we're next episode is episode 10 of season 3.
Okay.
We did last Wednesday. We just did Point of No Return. So this is the one after, which is I guess the highest rated episode for the season.
The problem with Babylon 5 is that they could never get secured. They were never sure if they're going to make the next season, and that hurt a lot of what they were doing,
Yeah,
which is
you're right.
unfortunate.
Well, I mean, once they got to season 3, they were pretty much hands off.
Until the last season.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Well,
they
don't ruin
did
it
that
now. I
one.
have not seen it. I have not seen it yet. I've only seen up through Point of No Return.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
This
no.
is
really?
my
Oh,
first
so this is your
watch.
first. So this is your first time through. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So me and Sci-Fi Snob have never seen past the point we're at. And
Well,
then
that's not what I'm
Oh.
saying. Is that the
Cam
problem
has
is
seen the whole series though.
I've seen the
And
whole series several times.
yeah, well,
every
and a couple other, and like some like Madman from Cuticast, he's the one who got us the hookup to get Peter Jurasek on. So he
That's a
like
hell of a pull, dude.
that was pretty awesome, man. He was so nice too. It was like,
I know,
not
right?
like you expect most actors. And I've run across actors. I worked at Universal Studios.
didn't he
I was there
retire?
when we opened Potter. Yes, he's retired. He has a medical issue now with like the bright lights.
Yeah.
He can't
No, I mean he retired like 10 or 15 years ago. It was a while back.
well, he was teaching for a
Oh,
while,
okay.
but now he's completely retired.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
No,
he's
I
like
meant
70,
he retired from
70.
acting
Yeah.
years ago. I thought.
Yeah. He was teaching over in North Carolina, I think, and then he finally retired.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Cal, are you still there?
Andreas Katsoulis and
You know what? You're right,
and
James. I
Peter
should.
Jurassic were my two favorite characters. Were my
Andreas,
two
of
favorite
course, is
actors.
deceased. As
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that are deceased, which is
Yeah, I just saw a video. Over 50 of the cast members and guests, etc., have passed away. But I mean, it's been so long that it's really not shocking.
No.
But when
They
I,
died like within like 5 or 10 years. It was kind of amazing on the sheer number that died.
but
Like,
when I saw,
yeah.
like Jeff Conway, and I mean, I wasn't
Jeff
surprised, but it was
Conway's
like
died. Yeah,
I was like, oh,
The guy who played
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi is dead.
all the
Shakar's
greats
dead.
except what
The
Box
doctor
Lightner
died,
and
and he was young too.
The Boxleitner went.
Buck Fightner's still alive.
Yeah, Box
Yeah.
Lightner's still alive.
He apparently
Well, and
lives
Andreas
over
Katsoulis.
in
I mean,
Memphis or something, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I have a couple of his
no, there
paperback
was-
books, and I think I have an autograph as well. I've also got an autograph of J. Michael Straczynski on the pilot episode.
Yeah, and JMS is apparently like the hardest one of them to get too.
Have you?
So-
he is so up his own ass now.
Yeah.
Did
Yikes.
you ever? Have
Dr.
you been going
Loser.
through the because I had the DVDs.
You hate
Did
Red
you ever
Dwarf
listen to
OGT, what?
the
Never saw it.
Where they have the commentary for it?
You hate Red Dwarf? I love
No,
Red
did you ever
Dwarf.
watch it? Have you watched the commentary for each of the
I've
episodes?
never seen Red Dwarf. I only keep
I didn't
hearing
either.
about it.
Yeah, never seen an episode.
I
Wouldn't know
just
anything
got-
about it.
I just got the box set of season 1 through 8 because 9 and 10 or whatever were crap in my opinion, but I'll get them. And yes, but off grid, there's this moment in the show that is the entire point of the show, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it
Is that when Lister finds? I don't want to ruin it, but
yeah, we'll talk later.
yeah, okay, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. The paradox.
Are you watching the commentary too with it?
No, not yet. I'm going to watch it one without the commentary, and then when I'm done, I'm going to watch because Monday I have Twin Peaks coming in. Then I'm going to watch that, and then I'll go back and watch it with the commentary.
So I have been watching the commentary when it shows up on the DVDs for Babylon 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the next episode actually has commentary on it. Has a commentary track.
I
So
like
it-
what they. Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, well, the problem is if you watch that, you might spoil it, and it's like, well, I mean, it's a 30-year-old show. What am I gonna do? Actually,
I
it's
don't think that you
And
really
Offred,
spoiled it with a lot of the commentary
off
because I
bridge.
watched all the commentary. It was
Who's
actually
retard pedos? Can you clarify?
what?
He just said retard pedos. I'm thinking he's
anyway.
talking about Red Dwarf. I don't know
I think it
if
could be
that.
what James said before. Something about Vindaloo now reclassified as Class A says home security.
Who
Oh,
wants? I like a vindaloo. Can I get a lamb vindaloo?
yeah,
Oh,
I've never
sorry.
had it. I've only heard about it.
I'm not. I don't know what he's talking about.
Chicken vindaloo?
Yeah, I like lamb a little better, but I don't mind chicken.
Well, that's chicken vindaloo is something that Lister liked.
Oh,
Lake
well, it's
salmon
a
is really good, James.
British folks love Indian food.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well,
Oh, the
it's
Oh,
BBC. Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong there, but mind you, Red Dwarf was so long ago that I give it a pass, and uh, it just
I don't.
there's some moments in
I
Red
mean, I
Dwarf
get
that were unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Yeah, of course he does.
I heard a
Uh,
lot of good things about the Red Dwarf RPG that was made around it. It used the same system as the Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG did.
Did Did you
yeah,
see my?
I think I actually own it. I've got to look. It's in a box. If I own it, it's right down here, and I do own the Red Dwarf
Yeah,
RPG.
because
Um,
Oh,
there was like one system that was used for like to make a bunch of RPGs of different TV shows. Because there was a Smallville one. The first Firefly RPG used the same system before they did Serenity, and
oh,
right.
then
okay, I know what you're talking about.
they also did it for
And,
Supernatural as well.
and you know
So
what?
dude, where were you on my last episode?
me,
Did you watch my last show?
I did not. I missed it.
Do you know what it was about?
No, I do not.
It was just Cam and me, my co-host, and we were talking about and it was a response to Shadow's challenge there about the top 10 TV shows.
Oh yeah.
Only I threw a twist on it, and it was all the TV shows, just TV, not movies, that we would like to either run or play in a game in that universe, in that
I did
I
a
did that video.
Oh,
My
This
number one, by
Billy
the way, is
Diagnosed.
Supernatural. I want.
RPG Elite, just RPG Elite did a show about that too pretty recently.
Did he
I
really?
think
I have.
people are getting on Jags.
I did a short stream with Harmony Ginger a few weeks back where we were just talking about what childhood classic shows we would what movies we would run at the table because it was inspired by a post she did about treasure planets. And
Yeah.
so I also brought up like Great Mouse Detective, The Black Cauldron is another one. I actually need to get those
Hold
books
on a
because I
sec, guys.
found out that
I'll be
that was
right
a
back.
book series.
Carry on without me. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Not without you.
No promises.
Bo, you're in charge.
We won't let you miss any fun. Trust
Oh
me.
crap, Bo's in charge. Run!
Well, now it's time to play with matches. Yay!
Hold up, let me get my lighters.
all right, okay. Now you have to melt the faces on your miniatures, so they have
Yikes.
that look from 1980s when they hit acid.
If I was gonna do that, I've got a little like a toluene over here. We can put a couple of drops on the styrene and just watch them melt.
I
A
remember.
little methyl
I
ketone dropped
remember
on
dropping
there.
super glue on my shoe, on my shoes or something, and seeing it smolder.
Now
See,
I'm trying to
all,
think. If
all,
there
all
was a
the
TV
all the games
show
that I want to play with
watched.
RPGs were almost all anime. I mean, I did.
Yeah,
Road
I'm trying to
Trip.
think of a TV show that's not anime or cartoon that I would run for like a TTRPG.
Oh, I can think of a dozen, but the thing is, I don't want to play a gimmick system. I hate gimmick mechanics.
No.
I want to play
Just
straight
define gimmick.
dice,
What do you
like
mean by a gimmick
cards
system?
or chips. I like Deadlands. This is a gimmick system.
No. Well,
Yes, it is.
Here,
Well, I
If
mean,
I-
as far as
That-
Savage
and
Worlds,
a
Savage
lot-
Worlds is
a lot-
definitely a gimmick. So
No, not the Savage Worlds version, not the GURPS version. The original Deadlands where you had cards. A lot of games
Savage Worlds
that
uses cards too. It was
Oh.
Deadlands was a Savage World setting.
a lot of the like there's an original Deadlands
But
game, right?
30
It's like
years ago, there
25
was no
years old
Savage
exactly.
Okay.
The original Deadlands game.
yeah.
Point of the
Which, by the way,
story
is on
is
Kickstarter. If you want to get it, it's on Kickstarter right now.
point of the story is there are a lot of RPGs that were made for movies and TV shows that are more coffee table books than actual role playing games.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want a coffee table book. If I'm going to play if I was going to play like Fringe or X-Files, and I didn't want to play with like Delta Green rules, I'd play with like Conspiracy X rules or something like that. I don't need to make a new game system for an RPG when there are so many RPG systems already extant.
Right.
So
I'm not
here's
going to
my
buy a
deal.
book.
Is I don't mind if it enhances the gameplay, but I don't
By
like it to just be different to be different.
the Babylon 5 IP currently does not have anybody making it. Apparently, the last people to make anything for it was Mongoose.
Then play it with
Yeah,
Traveler. There you go. Mongoose Traveler. Perfect.
yeah. Mongoose
The system
has
is
it.
already there.
Well, the problem I have with a lot
Yeah.
of them is, and I will say this much: every system should be tweaked to the point of where it plays well. This is one of the reasons I like the Year Zero engine. Is everyone has been tweaked a bit
I have
with it.
yet to play a Year Zero game myself, only
That's
because
because you didn't want to join our alien game. I said, come on in.
you
You're
never
still
invited me
good.
to the alien game. What are you
I
talking
did.
about?
I
Well,
You
isn't
literally
did?
told you.
isn't Alien from Free League? Or
The newer version is yes. There are actually older alien RPGs that exist out there. I found out.
well, I
But
There
believe
was
the,
a
that. I mean,
there was a board game. I'm not sure if there was an RPG.
I remember seeing the Doctor Who when it became the
Well,
Doctor Who
I
RPG
also think your
many
alien
times
game
over
was
the
during a
years.
time that I probably couldn't make it. I think I honestly don't remember why
It
I
was
refused.
it was on Saturday nights. That's the only reason that we're not playing it now is because one of our
That's
players.
because I usually am playing in Barrels of Borderlands on Saturday nights
I'm
most
teasing
days.
you. I
Oh
know. I know.
Jesus
That's.
Christ!
I no. I'm
Well, it is
teasing you.
weird seeing
Understand?
you
You
on
were
a Saturday
invited,
night.
and you were welcome to come. And if you still want to come in, I can still throw you in. They haven't killed off enough of the characters yet. No one's died. It's not
Yeah,
yet.
we're playing in this Mothership game now, and I'm not
Well,
sure I like Mothership.
are you
But
going to get the? Didn't they release a new Alien edition of Alien, or they're working on one?
I have both the old and
Free
new
League,
ones.
I think Free League did.
Free League recently. They either released or were working on a second edition of the Alien RPG.
Oh, they might.
Okay, guys, I think you're going at it the wrong way. And I do have like all the Doctor Who games, and they all suck.
That's the new
exactly.
one.
Well, that's what I was going to make that point. Is every one of them
There's the
suck.
old one.
I've even got
Yeah.
the one with Sylvester McCoy on the cover. I've got the original old version, and if there's a third one, I'm unaware of it. But okay, we all have a crap ton of games, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
I don't. I've got like 3 RPGs. You know this, Shadow.
Oh, okay, except for Bo, who's the hermit and doesn't want to own it.
This is just one toad I own.
You saw my Sunday school room, right?
And
So
this is
okay.
mostly all the Shadow Dark stuff, and like one side is all Chubby Funster stuff I've bought.
Dude, I just bought 7 more 27-gallon totes to go
And
with
then
my other 40
hold on one
totes
second.
full of stuff. So yeah, here is, it's kind of like the desert island game. Okay, what would be your desert island game? And because you could run any game with it, because yes, there are a million games out there, right? But what game could you use, or would you prefer to use? And let's say you didn't have that game, but what's the one game you would pick that you could run like just about any sci-fi game you can think of?
Oh, Traveler.
I would
Sci-fi.
probably either do Traveler or I would do the Genesis. But those
And some
require
people would say
universal
stars
system.
without numbers, but
Rookie numbers, kid. Rookie numbers. I'm almost 60, twice your age, and I need a storage unit.
He has lost more than you have.
Yes, I literally have.
Hidden in various places in my RV, full of books as well.
I'm cruising up on 50 and a room full that I'm in now.
Oh my God, that thing was so heavy. I had never picked that up before.
I'm going to put it this way: is everyone that I see for stuff that's I've become kind of a hoarder there. No, Cubicle 7. Which version for Cubicle 7?
I'm getting lead poisoning. I can feel it.
is that big
Thanks, Cal.
that big square box? Was that Cubicle 7? Or was that I think it's something else.
Well, so
There's a
Cubicle 7
Kickstarter.
is the one that's right now they're doing the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah, they did the Warhammer
Oh,
Fantasy,
the,
whatever.
the RPG version.
Yeah, the
Not
Yeah,
RPG.
the.
I actually like what they've done with it, but part of it when I look at stuff is how do I want to put this? What's the system? And you kind of go Traveler, but it's kind of bland. Is the problem with Traveler? Um, if I was going to do it as a universal system,
Mhm.
um, I do enjoy. Like I have the Star Wars one, which I know some people don't like because it has the gimmicky dice. Um, but my
Exactly.
friend
Yeah,
loves it.
I don't need gimmicks.
I
That
just
was that
said
was
that.
that was one of the big reasons why I avoided DCC for a while, but I finally broke down and got
I,
DCC stuff.
I
The
don't
only
mind gimmicky
reason
stuff if it's going to make it fun. It,
I mean,
it
they got a
it has to be
D30,
fun to
okay,
use.
and there's a way around using the D30 from what I understand. So,
Well, you don't normally get up to a D30 anyway. Most of it maybe a D22 or D24. Um,
that's an odd dice. Where am I going to
I
go buy
agree.
that? Not at the game store up the street.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, well, you have to realize I got a bunch of the dice from them, and I've had a D30 dice since I was. I have, of course, it got lost, but I've had one since I was like 12. You know, because it was a gimmick kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, the D100.
yeah,
They never stop rolling. The perpetual motion die.
Yep, I've
yeah.
got a D. I've got a D100 somewhere. I don't know where. I've had the D30 for 40 plus years. That's a beautiful die. I
I could
need the link to that.
I could literally hit somebody up behind the head with it. This is metal. This is a metal die, a metal D100.
Okay,
I
Bo.
could literally hit somebody with this. It would probably leave the little.
Hey, Bill, you got the link. You want to come in? You are always welcome.
I mean, yeah, because your house, your rules, but metal dice are not allowed in my house.
Yeah, right.
Metal dice are allowed as long as you roll them in something that's.
I've had too many dice bounce out of dice trays to know
Sure.
that if a metal die touches my wife's dining room table,
Oh, that's
everyone in the
right.
room is dead. Everyone in the room is dead. This is not for my benefit. This is for the player's benefit. Because my wife will come out with a 12 gauge and commit bloody murder on every. It'll be like a scene out of Kill Bill.
Wait a minute. Here's the problem:
Reservoir
is you didn't tell
Dogs.
your wife it's supposed to be distressed.
Yeah, uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It makes it more valuable.
Yeah, and
Look,
parts of his body are going to be distressed.
Yeah.
well, here's. I don't like metal dice anyway.
Oh,
I
I
don't like the
love
way
them.
they feel.
Oh, I've
Um,
actually come to the conclusion that you guys know that I'm kind of famous for having only have owned like 20 dice for the
In your
last
life.
40
Yeah.
years. No, I used to own hundreds and I gave them all away. But since I got my last set of metal dice, I'm going to show them here if I can find them. Is this them? Are these they? I don't know how that works.
Are
Okay,
these day? That's nice.
Yeah. Pronouns.
okay.
well, see, the problem is that again we
Check
get into
these
the
bad
weight.
boys out. Aren't they just beautiful?
That
No, I can't. Can I read them?
they're
I don't
hard
think
to
I can read those. Yeah,
Those are
exactly.
hard to read. That's
They're
why I
hard to
have them.
read.
It's the camera. They are sharp, crisp, easy to read. They're
Okay.
beautiful. I've got some
I
just
still
like that
don't.
as
I
well.
don't like the sound of metal dice hitting a lot of stuff, and I don't like because I like a large. I like a die that has some.
You want a
heft
real
to it,
caltrop?
but they're too small.
Right, right.
This is
No,
this is a real
but those dice are
caltrop,
too
man.
small. Is my point. Is I like dice that are 25 millimeter, not 16.
Oh, you
Yeah,
like
that's true too. And
The
easy
older
to
I get,
read.
the bigger the
these are
dice.
Yeah,
super
I
easy
mean,
to read.
I'm 50 years old. Any dice that are easy to read.
But
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty
The
easy
same
to read.
thing.
yeah. I can read. I'll tell you what I really hate is whenever they start doing the little fancy numbers. Like, stop it.
The filigree and everything on them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a set, another set right here. These I hate these. I was so pissed when I got these because they're metal and they're kind of nice looking, but they're supposed to glow in the dark. I left them under a lamp for 24 hours and
These aren't
uh,
supposed. These
I
aren't.
have.
It didn't
Well,
come in this, did it?
no.
Okay, because that's
Well,
what
see,
that's what
Hold
these
on,
came in.
Bill. The link is up in the chat, and if you can't find it, let's see. Look
Yeah.
at. I mean, they're. It's like, what am I looking at?
I know that to me is the bad kind of dice
And they're
stuff in there.
hollow, and I was just like, I thought I was getting something cool because I love glow in the dark everything, and I want to throw these. I wanted to complain to Amazon, but I forgot, and too much time went by, and I'm like, I'll probably give these away with the giveaway.
You can still put it as a review.
Mhm.
But
Okay,
like I got
Bill, I'm putting the link back in if you would like to join. Whoop, that's
I did.
Where the hell is the thing?
I won a bunch of dice
Oh, never mind. He found
from
it.
Goodman Games, and so
Yeah.
I got like 18
Okay,
sets
where
of
did he go?
dice for their stuff, and I was like,
Will, where did you
so
go?
I gave 3 of them away.
I deleted
Uh-huh.
him from existence.
Oh, Jesus
But-
Christ! It
But
keeps
I mean,
changing.
I like the problem that I have with it is a lot of universal systems just feel too generic, and they just kind of fall flat for me. That's the problem that I have with like any one system you play
Good point
with.
there, off grid. It's not about the dice. It's about the hand that wields them. Absolutely, Bill.
Maya's an evil laugh.
I have a hard time sending projects to people without some custom dice sometimes. I really do. It especially if they're metal. Like there's just such a thud at the table that can make or break a game or like a moment, I think, in some cases. Especially
Well,
with just the weight of that and especially if it's evil
You did
is
see
something that I
you
think
did
about.
you did see this one, right?
That is, yeah, I did, and I was like, man, that is really cool, and I
It's
kind of
really
want it.
cool, but it's heavy. This thing is heavy, man. This is solid metal.
Send me
Like
the link. Send me the link because I want to take. I want to take 3 of those and attach them to chains and
Make bolos.
You could.
make a set of bolos out.
I
I'm
wonder-
curious how much that weighs. Is that like an ounce of like just metal?
Probably more.
It might be more than
You
an
know?
ounce. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Thing
mean,
is-
come
I
on,
mean,
a meatball weighs like a meatball weighs 2 ounces for crying out loud.
Well, this is about like 12 meatballs.
And there you go. It's like
Thing
you
is
know,
heavy,
Ounce.
man.
That's
This
well,
is
no,
heavier than
15 ounces an
this
ounce.
is the size of a golf ball, and it weighs more than a golf ball does.
there you go.
So
I want the link by the end of the night.
Come on.
let me see if I can find it.
Shadow's
No,
making you work. It's
I know,
like just
God.
kind of happening now.
Hey, you know,
I got to remember when I bought it. It's been a while.
I'm very decisive. When I see
Oh.
something that I like or want or whatever, I just make it freaking happen. It's
That's
just-
actually the opposite. That's called impulsivity. Maybe you need. They have medication for that.
Bo, is that you up there in the top center there?
It
Bo?
is.
Yeah.
Is that you? Good to
Yes,
see you
yes.
again, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, Cal, are you still in the chat? Chime in because I got a problem here. I think I got 2 left hands for one of the giants. Or I'm
Just turn
doing
upside
something
down.
wrong.
Just turn
So,
upside down. You're
Shadow.
fine. I have 2 left hands.
So, Shadow, do
well, there's a
you want to
reason
hear
that the
about
Giants
the?
have the
Yeah,
mutation.
let Hunter finish.
I was going to ask if you want to hear about the Battle for Balion that happened on the Barrels of Borderlands server last night.
The what?
We had a huge chainmail war battle on Barrels of Borderlands server last night for the Battle of Balion. It was a city that one of the other referees was running, where it was a bunch of us and an army of men against a god and his vampire army. Like this vampire lord summoned a god, like a god of the undead back into the world, and we had to fight off an entire army. And it went from started 7:30 and went all the way till midnight.
Yikes.
Oh my
And-
God! Really? Only Crit sells these?
And here's the problem. So I had played RPGs using chainmail rules before, no issue. A war game with chainmail rules, on the other hand, it's like I did not hide. I was pissed at how much little I got to do because there were like we had one player that had a fucking dragon that was just incinerating men left and right. We had a all-powerful wizard by another player that summoned a giant floating brain into existence. We had another player that had a barrage of cannons just blasting away the field, whereas my 4 characters were just leading an army and did nothing, just stood there and watched because we could barely move because it was raining.
Damn.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
let me ask you a question. Have you on the Barrels and Borderlands server seen any red lightning?
There was red lightning last night during the battle.
Yes. That's me, buddy. That's me. You'll see
Yep.
see more of that coming.
One of the god that we were fighting against he was sending like arcs of red lightning across. He almost incinerated more than half our forces, but one of the players had a wand of spell absorption and absorbed an entire meteor shower with it.
Nice.
I'm sure you've seen a meteor shower. You've never seen a shower meteor than this.
But so, I mean,
Go.
overall, it was a good game. We just got all our golden experience points. I'm more pissed about the fact that I just sat there and couldn't do anything.
See, that
Was
sounds
Right.
more
more
like
the
a
problem.
problem with
Right.
the way that they were doing it, because even in mud, you should still be able to move enough for your units. I
No,
mean,
apparently, because of the rain, we could only move we could only move 6 spaces. Was all we could move because of the rain.
okay, no, I understand
And so,
that, but I mean, if you're looking at cannons, cannons only shoot. They don't shoot that often.
Next
I
time you
mean,
need some fly spells or levitation spells for
oh,
your
but you know
for
how
your
many
army.
rounds? You know how many rounds this took in the almost 4 or 5 hours that this was? This was like,
3.
yeah, 3 rounds. Each round
God,
took
Diggs.
almost two
Good luck.
freaking
That's what I hate
hours.
about war games. I hate war games for that.
And it's like
Siege shit up.
I at least I knew if this was like an in-person thing, I would be more active. I would be like moving the pieces physically around. I would be taking them on and off. I would feel more active. I just literally just sat in front of my computer for 4 hours, and this is not a dig at the GM or Matt, who were both kind of co-opting running this game. They did a great job of it. It was still an okay game overall. I just don't like that they didn't make more of an effort to get everyone more involved. Because my idea was we were going my 4 characters were going to charge into battle, and if they died fighting against this god, they died fighting. I would have been much happier with that result. And I'm sorry I'm ranting, but it really, I just really am pissed off that my first time playing a war game was such a shit one.
Yeah, that's
Sorry to hear
actually a
that.
pretty common rant with a lot of war games.
Yeah.
I mean, you move your guys, you go out, you have lunch, you come back. It's now the next phase. It's time for combat. Combat after movement, and then you go out and you go out and you have a smoke. You come back, and then it's time for the psychic phase or the magic phase or whatever.
Yeah, now I understand why Gary Gygax added fantasy rules and made it into a war playing game instead of keeping it a war game because when you're doing just a war game, you got players sitting around their asses doing nothing. Whereas with the role playing aspect, you can get everyone involved.
Well,
That's one.
I mean,
That's
if
why
you actually look
Gygax
at the
didn't really
rules,
use chainmail
for instance,
rules.
if you look at, and we're going to look at first edition D&D, they cobbled like 4 different things. So if you were flyers, you were using, was it sky, whatever that rule system was for air. And then if you're doing on the ground, you were using chainmail. But chainmail, I felt was, yeah. But anyway, I mean, I love war games, but a lot
What
of
does
it was more of on the
OGG
movement.
mean by
But
PVDM?
Player versus DM.
yeah,
I-
but
I would-
but whenever you're doing it is like, what did I see? I saw a guy who set up. I kid you not, it was about 15 feet wide for a Battle of Waterloo, and and there is a spectacle to it, like you said, of moving the characters and getting everything in there. And but this is why I like skirmish games so much more.
So with that 15-foot table, do they have like a big old freaking crane so the player could like hover over the table and move shit?
Well,
It
didn't
was
Gary
15
Gygax
feet
have like an
wide. It was
entire
about 6
sandbox in
feet.
his basement that
He
he
did,
used
but
for his war games?
Gary, from all evidence says that Gary Gygax also didn't actually use chainmail rules in his own games. That's why he came up with the the quote unquote alternate combat system that D&D uses today.
I thought Arneson came up with that.
Well,
Or is that
no,
just the argument there?
Arneson just did. Yeah, I think Arneson just did. I think Arneson was more of an idea man than a mechanics man.
if
I
if
think
I
that-
if
I
I
thought
may
that-
have the floor for just a moment.
Go ahead.
When I was like really deep into 40K, my favorite thing that I would do would be to lose to anyone. And part of it though was that I wanted the other person to be into it. I wanted them to be into the narrative of the game. Like I wanted them to come up with their story, because as somebody playing quote unquote the bad guys, which 40K is very much a gray area, but like as the bad guys playing chaos, yeah, everybody's the bad guy in 40K. But like,
No.
as the bad guy though, like that was the funnest thing to me. Like it was, I don't care if I win or lose. Like I just want you to come up with why your Eldar guy is fighting my chaos dude, and like what they're saying in between, like and just like Bo said earlier, like you would go to lunch after so many phases of this, and like the point of it is the narrative, and I love losing to people who can like make a narrative out of the game, even if it's just aliens that are incessant on feeding on the opposite player or whatever. Like if they could make a narrative out of it, that was the fun to me. And I don't care if I win or lose. It's just making a really cool narrative with somebody you care about hanging around, because there's so few people I really care about hanging around. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
That's half the battle.
100%.
I mean, did
Oh,
you play Rogue Trader?
let me.
Did you ever play Rogue Trader?
I did on the computer just a little while ago, but I haven't really actually played Rogue Trader. No,
I mean 40K Rogue Trader. They have an example scenario on the very back, and it was really cool because the orcs had invaded, and they were trying to they're going to this farm to go grab. They were looking like food and loot, and that's what they were doing. In the meantime, the Space Marines base had been hit by a stray missile that took it out, and there were only about 10 Space Marines left. And they're trying to get back into the town. They're trying to get back to their lines. And so
sure.
that was the encounter, and that was the story behind it. And I was like, that was really cool. And it did exactly what you said, is it was supposed to have two players with a referee. And the referee...
Exactly, with a referee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
the you guys want to hear...
The problem that I have with a lot of this is whenever we're doing stuff like this is, when things get too godly, then doing conventional tactics it's like, hey guys, we're gonna play Agincourt with aircraft carriers. It's just like, all right,
sure.
You're or if you really want to do one, I don't know if you guys ever played what was that sci-fi? It was I remember Leviathan and everything else. I can't remember what it was.
Space Hulk?
Anyway, Centurion. It was stuff like
Centurion.
This.
Right.
Where they did the grav tanks. So it was FASA was doing their stuff, and the grav tanks would move a certain speed. I love stuff like that. But boy, you want to talk about moving fast, is they're moving like 200 miles per hour, and then of course you had space, and you had every layer in there. That's where it starts coming down to, hey, no offense to Hunter but guess what? You're going to do the operations. You're going to be moving stuff in the big scheme of things without the day-to-day, trying to, like you said, charging in your army. If everyone's flying and you're on foot, it's just not the same.
I guess, again, to kind of bring in...
Here's the problem. Here's the problem I had. It was supposed to be a war game. I expected to go to war, not have my players sit on the sidelines and do nothing. They should have been it should have been in the heat of combat. Now, here's the part that this is the part that really set me off, though, was one of the players, I don't know how he had it. He had a wish spell that he could use, and he used that spell. Now, he didn't wish for the armies to be obliterated. He didn't wish for the god we were fighting against to be banished. He wished for the fucking rain to stop, of all things. And I just laid into him right there because I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, the wish spell, there's a lot. I mean, you couldn't wish for certain things that would harm other factions, let's say.
But by having the rain stop and the sun coming out, it obliterated all the vampires on the field.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But it still left enemies, so he couldn't have them all go away with one wish spell if they were just going to have the sun eliminate them all.
Yeah, I think he could get away with that because the wish didn't cause the harm to the vampires. it was the result of the rain not being there, so to speak. So it was like kind of like a loophole.
I think another thing to
I
think
would
about
still
with
say that's causing harm to the vampires by using your wish to cause harm to fall upon the vampires. If we're
I
going to
think
use that argument, though,
I think
Why
another
were
thing
they out during the
to
day?
I think
It-
another thing to think about with this too is we always have to remember that these games are they're run by humans, they're played by humans, which is a thing that unfortunately may go away with what other people want these games to be in the future. But you know, the thing is that with human run games, we have to understand human run mistakes, and sometimes people have to learn the hard way too. And
Oh,
maybe
look
the
at you being
person
nice.
running this game, or the scenario that they've laid out, maybe in their mind sounds really good, and but it didn't translate to paper the way that they thought it would.
Gosh, I've
And
been there.
maybe it's just a learning moment in their time, and the fact that people were sidelined, maybe that's enough to wake up other ideas on how this could have gone in the future that they're going to use, which is, and it sucks that these games, and in order to get better we have to lay in the time to do it. But how many people have spent 14 hours on Call of Duty playing a video game, doing things that they've gotten better and better at? But these
Did
it's
anyone
very visceral, this hobby. It's very visceral.
did
My
anyone ever
That's all I
play
want to say.
SF was it SF2, the Battle for Volturnus and Star Frontiers?
No.
Said,
So what they did for theirs is it was a massive battle with, we're talking probably like 100,000 per side or more.
whoa.
And what they did is it was player focused. So the players were going through, and it was, I mean, it was kind of a set of missions in there, but it was like such and such is breaking through. We need you to stop them to do this. And so then the players were supposed to knock out something in the background or something of that sort, which would turn the tide of battle. And, for the battle, the players had to go through, they had to go through each of the different versions. So, like one side, they had to take out anti-aircraft guns so they could allow the gliders to come over. And another one, they had issue with the basically their dragons. They were fire-breathing lizards with laser eyes. Uh, is what it
and
came down.
to quickly answer what someone asked about why they were out during the daytime, it was completely clouded over and raining, so that's why they were able to be out during the day.
Yeah, I understand. No, but what they did there was is that every time you had to go fight certain things, and the players were instrumental in the battle, but they didn't play out the whole battle. It was, we have certain things going on, and the players are determining the if this part of the battle is won or lost. And at the end of the entire battle, the DM is supposed to roll a die depending on how well they succeeded or failed in each of the missions during the big battle. And I thought that was an excellent way of doing a big battle without doing a war game. And that may be something that, again, if you ever pick it up or anything, is to look at and try adapting. And that would have solved Hunter's issue of being able to do stuff. But you still have the big overarching battle going on. And it's the same thing of whatever you see in movies. In movies, they don't show the whole battle. They show on the characters we care about and their one little portion that they're fighting in.
Right.
So
That's kind of, isn't that kind of how the old mass battles for D&D worked? Like everybody would, the inter-player combat would go on, and then the DM would roll dice to determine what happened in the overall battle.
this is what Horde Wars does. I don't know if you've looked at Horde Wars at all, Shao and Son, but it's one of my go-to medieval fantasy games. It's D12 system by DM Blackwall. And
Yeah, I've got the PDF that I got from Biggest Geekest before they went out of existence, and
did
I've never even opened it.
you get? Oh, so you probably only have the basic. Then you probably don't even have the advanced version that's been released for a while now. So It's like I have the advanced version because it's just one of those games. It's my go-to again, medieval fantasy now. But the way he does mass combat is it's a die roll to determine which side, how each side is doing. But then you're still focusing on like each individual player and the combat that they're having in the middle of that battle. So I'm like, that's how it should. In my opinion, that's how a war game should go.
No.
No,
Let's rephrase this. A war game is supposed to represent. Remember, we're not
war?
playing. Yeah, I
But
think
a
you're
war game and
confusing
mass
war
combat
game
are
with an
basically the same
RPG.
thing.
What? No, an RPG and a war game to me are two very different things. When I play a
Yeah.
war game, I want to play a fucking war, or I want to play a major battle. I don't want to
Mhm.
play. Hey, this is random stuff. I'm like, no, we're controlling it. And to be fair, is I've grown up on computer games since the early '80s, doing war games, and they used to do all of. I remember playing Gettysburg and stuff like that. It's like, okay, units come in here, and we're talking. When you start looking like Gettysburg, how many miles across are you doing? Um, but that doesn't work as well if you're trying to do individual players getting involved for that. So that's why to me they're two different things. Um, when I want to play a war game, I want to do a big old battle, and then let's go to a campaign. Um, but
And to me, a war game is also PvP with winners and losers.
Yeah.
A role playing game can be PvP or it can be collaborative depending on
The
the game and the party and
the social contract that you establish at the
right.
beginning. Real quick, I got two things. Cal's back. Cal, can you send me a link to these giants because I think I might have two left hands, or I'm doing something wrong because I've got them laid out in the poses and the assembly that I want to go with, but I want to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong with the hands and off grid. I am really good friends with Bobby Encinas. I don't know if you know who he is, but since you mentioned
Was he
BMX,
the guy in the WWF?
no, he's like the king of like the great grandfather of BMX, and he's a good friend of mine. Lives uh, near here, and I'm helping him with some things. But he is going to be interviewed by every TV station for the Olympics that's going to be held somewhere near here where I live or what have you. So I'll be going. Hopefully, me and Jackie will be going to hang out with him for that. Just seeing if you know who I'm talking about. Since you mentioned BMX and
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
he's a really cool dude.
So, Shadow, I found out this was kind of a big wait for me, but I found out from the company that I'm getting the treatment from for multi-layer MDF. I
Okay.
found out that their product, and I had to ask three different companies. This was the only one, and I've treated this board specifically. But the two companies that I asked otherwise, this is the only company that I can treat this board with that won't create,
Gases.
yeah, gases that'll kill me if I decide to laser cut these boards. And that has been a huge thing for me, because on a laser cutter you can only do so much.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to kind of show you that it adds a little bit of a deeper grain to the board,
Nice.
and it's going to be I'm going to try a few stains from the same company, and they've assured me that those products will last for a long time and they're
Okay.
very UV resistant. But I thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of wanted to show you. That's all.
I appreciate that. Did you
Yeah.
check on the other gassing effects where the wood can release a gas that will rot lead specifically?
Um,
Rot lead.
Yeah.
that they're actually talking to legacy chemists on that. There are people who have retired and they're not sure. They seriously don't know, and I'm
Okay.
waiting to hear back from them.
Nice.
Uh,
It's like you're
Debbie,
working at NASA or something.
It really is. I'm dead serious. If for those of you that don't know, and Shadow, I hope I'm not stepping too far, but I'm
no,
working
go
on a
for it.
project with Shadow, and it involves laser cutting some different types of wood in order to create some miniature carrying cases that are going to be very customized to the Shadow and Sons brand, made by PML, fulfilled by PML. But and I also have manufacturing companies that I've partnered with in my area in order to make sure that they're lead safe and miniature safe and so on and so forth. But it's when you think about what you've got to package these miniatures in and how you want to do these things as a very small company, as a one man brand is, and
Mhm.
Shadow is as well, or two man.
Two man.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, two man and a one man. My bad. Um,
No worries.
but it's a lot of legwork to kind of get these things together, especially when you're talking about some of these legacy miniatures that people might want to deal with, and the equipment we have, and the expenditure we're willing to make into a project like this. But it sometimes it's taken me 4 weeks to get a letter back from the company that yes, you can essentially disintegrate wood with certain treatments on it that won't kill you or
Mhm.
cause a detriment to the end user later on, to or their models as well. Certain uh, metals and plastics as well. But just thought it was a cool little point to show.
Awesome.
Nice. I am really impressed with your paint stand in the back. I gotta say, that's
Oh, this guy?
That
yeah,
looks like one of the retail ones.
Oh, it is. It is.
yeah.
Monument Hobbies. PML is actually a partner with Monument Hobbies.
Nice.
They were the first company, believe it or not. I contacted them and I said, "Hey, where can I get your paints in order to sell them? Because I'm not big enough to like direct from their warehouse or their
Right.
manufacturer, right? I'm
Yeah.
not big enough to do that." So they sent me to a another company. I
Distributor.
contacted them. I'm not gonna name them, as much as I really want to like throw
Oh,
them under the bus. I'm not gonna name them, but they told me you're online only, and good luck. But we're so concerned about our brick and mortar, which they should be. They should be. That they're not taking on any more customers because they're
That's
so afraid of that.
that's
And
crap.
I was like, fine, that's cool, but like I just want to sell paint. I don't even want to sell cards. I don't want to sell any of the other stuff. I just want to sell their paint, and that's it. And they wouldn't give me a B2B license. And at this point, I had registered with my state, the federal IRS. I had registered. I like literally everywhere. I've got
Uh-huh.
so much hooks in the book on that, and
Right.
they wouldn't give me the paint. So I went back to them and I said I went to them, and they wouldn't give me it. And I'm coming to you now, and like I just want to start business. And they were like, we don't want to overstep our bounds because we're not doing direct to consumer.
right.
And I said, "Oh, well, I'm a middleman. I'm a business. Like, here's my ST3. I think it's ST3 form
Okay.
that I was a legit LLC." And they said, "Let me think about it." I let them think about it for a while. I contacted them and I said, "Listen, I no matter what, even if this fails, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I will buy your paint. I believe
Uh-huh.
in your product."
It's a sales
And
tax form.
they said, "All right, if you believe in it, if you want to go halvesies on it, we'll give you a retail rack." And now I've got a retail rack,
Well,
and
I've got a ton of Pro Curl paints. That's no lie.
they're
Uh,
good. They're
I'm
good.
looking at easily 500 bottles of different paints just in this room alone. But I don't have anything like that. I am thoroughly impressed.
Oh,
And
paint
if I
rack.
had one, if I brought one into the house, the wife would probably file for divorce the next day. Uh,
If it won't fit in your if it fit in your office, you've got room in there, right?
no, I don't. If you could
Make
see
room.
this room, it's not all glamorous like you think. Uh,
Make room, make room, move over, make room.
anytime I order more plastic totes, she has an anxiety attack and damn near ends up in the hospital because she doesn't understand that the more I organize the stuff that I do have, the more space I actually make. But she just sees more stuff coming into the house, not understanding that at some point it's all going to go into the shop, and then the house will be empty, and Jackie will be off to college, and she'll just hear the echo of her own footsteps in a big giant empty house, which is what she apparently wants. While I'm at the shop sleeping there at night.
So she wants the house emptied, and you and all the crap in the shop, huh?
Well, she does. She doesn't even want that. She just wants it all in a landfill because she doesn't understand this hobby in the slightest. She has no clue what we're doing, and thinks my son and I are both crazy. She's not wrong, but we actually have a method to our madness.
Yeah.
We're actually playing this game that's been around for you know more than 50 years. 'Cause,
Plus,
it's part of. It's not just D&D. What are we looking at here? Ooh, check
Could
you
could
out.
I could I ask a favor from the council over here? I've
Absolutely.
got a bunch of guys. They're in this paint scheme, brown shirt, or excuse me, brown
Make it big,
pants.
Shadow. Make it big. Make it big,
Uh,
Shadow. Don't be a dick.
I'm getting. Hey.
He's working on it. He's working.
Yeah, I've only got. There we go.
I,
Slow as molasses. Okay.
now the camera is doing a digital zoom, so it's kind of hard to see. But I've got brown pants, yellow
Yeah.
shirt. Now this is where I'm stuck because a lot of my background is in 40K, but what other colors would you?
So I'm looking.
Don't.
I'm looking at me old color
You know,
wheel here.
especially
looking at
I
this
would
this coif here around the neck. That's
yeah.
the problem.
gray.
Like,
No, look. Just do it gray and then dry brush it with silver.
on the little leather
Yeah.
part right here. This guy.
I mean, you could if you can make it look like armor. Is it armor or is it cloth?
It's like a leather. It looks like a heavy leather.
No.
They're like town guard kind of guys.
I would just do it brown. I would just do it a tiny bit lighter than the pants, or even the same color as the pants.
because
Simple is better.
he's got yellow here. He's got yellow on his t-shirt, and then because you're gonna have a sweatshirt over the t-shirt is what I've kind of coined it. But you've got the yellow, and then you got brown, and then you got brown down here, and then you got black boots. But what about this
I'm
guy?
gonna shrink you for
What
a
about
second here, Bill. Hold on. I want to show you
Okay,
something.
so
You got the color wheel here, right? My finger. Whoop,
Right,
my
right.
finger's up at the yellows. Now
Well,
you
he
see-
knows about color wheels.
Well,
you got the
it's
color-
okay. I always want to listen to.
Sure. Okay.
You got the two colors on the side, the green and the orangish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, those are complementary.
Mhm.
And then you get contrasting down here as like a purple. My fingers are not going.
Yeah.
That's what they would probably tell you. Pick
Right.
one of the three. But the green and then purple, that may not go with what you're going with. So like Bo was saying with making it what it is. If it's leather, then you go leather, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it does match the pants, and then you're good to go. Maybe the helmet is metal, and you could do the metal to match the spear tip kind of thing. I definitely wouldn't go with the purple just because it would be so contrasting and so
With the yellow.
the top that
Too
I
busy.
can't really picture those two colors being on someone's national flag. You know what I mean?
so
And then
if you
maybe-
wanna look at heraldry. Here's my
Mhm.
suggestion for that. Number one is the medieval ages was very colorful, so try looking at some books for heraldry. For one,
Sure.
Number two is for the belt. I would put some kind of color there, probably a blue or something of that, a light blue or something.
I was thinking
the-
like a dark red, like a maroon almost.
Here's
It
what
clashed too
we've
much with the green of the
Well,
green on the
They
sweatshirt.
don't care. Trust me, the medieval ages, it was about color. It was not about.
Yeah.
It was not about complementary. The other thing I would look at for that is if they're common, avoid red and purple because
The only
those would
two
really-
colors that I have from the customer is black and yellow.
Oh,
and
okay.
brown
Yellow, black
seemed
and
like
yellow, black and yellow, black and
I
yellow.
yeah, right.
Well, then make the belt
And
black.
I think
Yellow and
Yeah.
black. Mix it up
that
for a change.
that maroon
Yeah.
color sounds really cool, as well as maybe like an olive drab. What do you guys think? Olive drab with a yellow? Is
That
that
I would
will
do-
that
cliche?
the olive drab is a complementary, so it'll look good to the eyes. But OG does have a point that green yellow is kind of like an interesting, unique color choice.
It's a
But
mustard color is what I would
yeah,
look at for that. Is
because
the
they're
other part is
peasants.
if they're lower class, then you might want to get an ochre color for the belt, because ochre was used a lot of times without having a bright red, or do that around
Right.
the neck.
What is it?
Um,
They're
What color?
town
What is
guard.
ochre
They're
for?
town guard. They have a
Yeah.
captain who's got like a metal chest plate kind of deal going on. And I know I kind of have some ideas on the captains, but like the regular town guard, which I've got 6 of. I've got 6 town guards. I feel like the either between the mahogany burgundy kind of deal and the maybe the olive drab, like that could kind
I would
of
do
do.
I would do the around the where you said the leather is. I would do
Yeah,
that kind of, as you said, a burgundy kind of color. Um, I would definitely put color in the belt, not make it that white or that gray. You want some kind of
right.
color
Yeah.
there, and that's why I said you probably want some kind of partial blue without being, yeah, like actually, like I said, is that's one of the reasons I like looking at heraldry for stuff. And
Mhm.
people are like, oh, well, they weren't conscious. Oh my God, they didn't care. It was the more colorful it
Well,
was.
right,
Well,
but
no, wait. A lot of certain colors
Nice
were
OG.
very expensive.
Well, that's
exactly.
why I said
Dye
red and purple were not generally used, and neither was like a royal blue. Those are the 3
Right.
colors you would avoid for commoners.
because those are expensive. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
but
think about natural colors, and again, it's. I would think, what is he wearing? What does it look like in real life? And I'd probably go with the color of like a natural wool, like a gray, or what they like a field drab. But I'm not.
Yeah.
It depends on what do you want on the tabletop too? Do you want them to, because they're just your common soldiers. You don't need them to pop too much. You want your captains and leaders to pop.
Yeah, and if they're the
so
Royal
so
Guard, then it's different. You know, then that's where you're going to get your purples and your royal blues and stuff like that.
yeah, but I mean, but anything that's kind of that burgundy ochre color stuff that's easy to make with either flowers or what I mean. Yeah. So, like I said, you could do some kind of blue if you really want to make them pop. Have you ever
Indigo.
seen Landsnet? Those
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
those now that's not what you're looking at, but those were, again, how realistic do you want to be? Is because back then only certain color allowed to certain social classes. So, like reds and royal blues and purples were only for royalty, and to wear it otherwise kind of was punishable. so I think that color, well, that color yellow is not my kind of thing. That's actually probably accurate for the time period,
Yeah.
for how they would dress.
Well, and you could get that from a mineral, right? You could definitely get that coloration using mineral type dyes.
I guess that's kind of the question
Yeah.
that I'm going after, because I, especially as someone who knows very little on medieval like color palettes, and
Yeah.
I have some friends who are very much so, they will tell you the historical color palette, but
Mhm.
when you look at how many colors you actually have in that palette, it's really tough to paint in a legitimate medieval color palette, because it's like brown, red, brown, and then like green, brown, and like it's all of it is brown, and
Yeah.
so
Well,
but
well,
like
uh,
and that's
blues.
why I kind of come here looking for what is
I'll be right back.
medieval fantasy, but like not so
Okay.
far out the realm.
So I would
You
put
know?
that. I would
So
put
it's
his
cool.
belt as a blue, as a light blue. A wood color. Looking at what they have here, your green looks fine. That greenish yellow I think looks
Yeah.
good. And then I would use around the neck. I would use
That's
I would
funny,
use
Cal.
an ochre color, and seeing how that looks. If you're going to test it, using one mini and seeing how that
Ochre
looks.
is a mineral color too, right? It's basically
Yeah.
It's red.
reddish
It's a
Yeah.
yellow,
brown.
Well, I don't
yellows
want to
and
see it.
browns.
Yeah, but there's so many different colors of reds. And ochre is more of it's a brownish red.
And I tell you what
Yeah.
you could do. Does Osprey must have books on medieval
Oh yeah.
armies? But you can
Mhm.
find pictures online even from the Osprey's books if you don't have any, if you don't own them yourself. Because Osprey made that's kind of what they do.
It's just good to know, I guess, that whether whatever color I pick, as long as it's got a deeper undertone and maybe like a mid tone, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I'm not too far outside of like a historical, like, oh yeah, you throw yellow in there and that's a kind of thing,
It
because
depends
I
on the
want to
game too,
please the
right?
person who's paying for the
Yeah, I was
So
going to
minis.
say.
yellow?
I mean, I hear a lot of historical talk. Is this for a historical game? If it's not,
Yeah.
and it's like for like a fantasy game that's
It's
not Earth,
fantasy, yeah.
then you could literally throw all the rules out the damn window and ask the owner of the minis what he wants,
Mm.
and leave it up to him and not even think about it. Or you can choose one of the other schools of thought.
And the
But
elephant in the room is paint up 2 or 3 test minis,
yeah,
and
there
then
you go.
if it's for a client, a paying client, paint up 2 or 3 and see which one he likes best and pick that
Yeah.
one.
Right. Right.
I mean, a woad color is like what Braveheart wore, and that was common.
The woad,
That
yeah.
for the blue, and then like you said, is that russet ochre color is which is what peasants would use. And then also, to be fair on that, is if you start using the historic colors of bright red, royal blue, and purple for your nobility, then it really makes them stand out anyway between your
Right.
two. And as much as we say fantasy allows you to do whatever you want, the reality of it is that most of us want a realistic fantasy. Relatively speaking, we want a medieval age kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's kind of like saying, well, you can wear, depending on what type of game you're playing, but otherwise they would be dressed completely differently. And if you want to do that, then you've got something like a Dark Sun, which has like nothing, related to the common world. But no, try seeing if a light blue will work for his belt. I don't think, and then try and see just one. Just say, hey, this
Yeah.
is what we were looking at for realistic, and see how it looks. If it does look pretty to the eye, the other thing I would do, personal opinion on this, is I put a little bit more detail on that spear. When
Sure.
we were looking at, I know you're not
Sure.
done with it, but a little bit more shading on that, as far as a little bit of highlighting between around the edge. I know it has to be a certain thickness, but I think that'd make it pop out a little bit more too.
For sure. For sure. These minis so far, the stage that I'm at is kind of like getting some of the basic color scheme down. Because again, the clientele, they're shooting for exactly like you're saying. They want it to be medieval fantasy, but like more emphasis on that medieval part,
Yeah.
without it being historical, essentially. Because I've talked to literal historians about like the color schemes, and to me, so far, the things that I can get is that unless they
Sorry, Ed.
were,
It's very
uh,
narrow in the number of
unless
colors.
yeah, unless they were like straight up, uh, some big house or whatever, they it was basically a lot of brown because that's
Well,
what was around. And
Yep.
and I'm not saying that they want that historical part of it, but they want the colors to reflect part of the historical aspect while maintaining the high fantasy. And sometimes if you just ask around, you get a lot of inspiration. And I've got a lot of inspiration here. A blue belt with some light blue highlighting would look super cool on some minis, but it would still reflect some of those historical aspects. And I really appreciate all the input too. The green is a great thing to add. I think I might do their coifs in like a olive drab with maybe
That's
a lighter green kind of
yeah.
a pine style green as a highlight. I think that would look really cool. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate the
well,
comments.
here's something I learned recently. Is I'm not sure if any of us are familiar with the Great Scraping, where they basically Like all the churches that we see now that are, bare stone and things, didn't used to be that way. They used to be all painted. And in the
Right.
1800s, they decided to scrape them. So they're now more of that way. And same thing applies to the marble statues. Marble statues used to be all painted. And, the stuff that we see in the museums is not how people would have seen it back in the day.
Especially like Egypt, right?
Well,
Or
no,
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 like
we're talking
Roman statues, marble
Yeah, the
statues.
Romans and Greeks had
Yeah.
all their, all those marble statues were all painted. And, just over time, let's be honest, paint flecks off. And so all that we're left is these nice white marble statues. And like, what? And I'm not sure that we really knew what the Egyptians were because that was so long ago. But we know what the walls were. The same thing applies to castles. Our idea of castles, I've been to a few, they had plaster and mortar and everything else, and they looked more similar to probably what our house did on the inside than what we see nowadays with the bare walls.
Or they would have tapestries up or whatever that would have.
Oh yeah, well it was
huge tapestries,
Well, and some of that was also to keep it warmer, so you don't have
kind of an insulation. Yeah,
yeah.
Not a drafty old castle.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but everyone I've ever seen, as far as and again, some of it's Renaissance too when we're looking at it. But not saying that you should follow this, but there was a book called Perfect Red that went through the ideas of different colors and things like that, and why dyers were considered a very low class profession because they smelled. Because of all the chemicals they had to
There's
work with.
definitely a reason why the British have a phrase where it says "taking the blank," and anybody the English
Yeah.
or otherwise, there's a reason why they say that, and there was a person who literally did that.
Well, there was
taking the blank.
Well, did
I'm
you
trying
ever
to
watch
fill in my.
the guy who did Baldric? He showed like how they almost always broke down the fibers with urine.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, they did. Well,
exactly.
Because urine had,
The acid.
Well,
And ammonia was basic, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they did a lot of that, and then it's just interesting looking at all this stuff. But everything I look at, and you're right, there's a lot of browns. But if you're going to be a town guard, you kind of going to have a little higher. I mean, you're not going to look like royalty, but they're going to give you like that bright yellow shirt. Hey, if the other thing is hey, it's a yellow shirt. Well, what does that mean? Well, that tells you that that's a town guard. It's stuff like that, which I think is really good as far as going after. It's part of the reason that
makes them very hard, very easy to target when you're aiming your bow.
True. True. That's going to be up to them, but like I'm painting them. I just want them to look good.
Well, the other thing is and this is my perspective too, is at 3 to 4 feet away, it's a lot easier to have a more gaudy army that can be seen than to get a lot of the realistic armies. Whenever I go to like a convention and you look at like the Golden Demon and they paint everything out, I'm like, that's great. Right. If I look at it real close, but from a distance, but the more gaudy it is, actually, the better it looks on the table from a certain distance.
Could I ask?
James and I were talking about this the other day. That's why they were painted the way they were in the old GW magazines, because they wanted to be seen, for the player's advantage. From 3 and maybe even 6 feet away, you need to be able to see these troops. Because if you were playing like a game with actual camouflage colors and crap, you'd get some fights at the damn table because the players would be like, I didn't see those guys. They were there, for like 3 turns. I didn't even know they were there because they blended in with the, the natural surrounding. And when you're playing a game like this, there's kind of like this element of good sportsmanship. If you brought your orc army to the table and they're all the same color as the grass mat on the table, there's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the other part is, in the middle of battle, let's be honest, it's hard to tell which side is which.
We cheated.
unless they had guidons and flags and heraldry. I don't know if you ever watched, which I know Shadow watched it, but I don't think he was big. Did you ever watch Ran? Have you ever seen the
RAN.
movie Ran with the Japanese? So one side is yellow, one side was blue, one side was red. I'm like, there is no question about which side of force you're on. Uh, whereas if everyone's of similar colors, no offense to the Europeans, but God, could you do something more than three stripes in red, white, and blue? It's like, well, I can't tell if it's Russian or it's this, and the same thing with the Italian and the German flag. Which order is it to make sure I have the right army?
I guess my question to the role players in the group, because I guess partially just for discussion's sake, and the other part, I've got the painting part of it
Yeah.
down now, but to the role
Clearly.
players, thinking about like their belts or their helmets, or whatever color you're gonna make their leather, like I'm kind of thinking about the belts on these guys. If I can make them really distinguishable, uh like the playability of how you paint models. I know that like 40K you're painting your own stock, because you're going to put out three squads of this and an armored thing, and a support weapon or whatever, but like in the role playing part of it, wouldn't it be nice if these two guys are blue and these two guys are red and these two guys are brown? Like, is that something that really makes a difference in the gameplay, as part of being somebody who produces the game, the game master kind of thing? I've never really played a game where there were minis on the table. Like, is that something that really does help, or is that kind of just
So my
you know?
friend who plays more of it than I do, again, I grew up in an era where we used coins and marbles, and I was quite happy to use that as
Mhm.
it, salt shakers, anything that's as a mini. But for my friend, uh, one is weapon choice. The other one is, you're right about gaudy colors. Not that people used to it, but if you like, and I use Land's Neck as a good example, and it's a pain in the ass to do. But if you look at how they have their checkerboard pants and stuff like this, um,
Mm,
I think there's a game called Carnival where that's the intention, is you're supposed to make your character as gaudy as possible.
mhm.
Um, no one really minds if you're a ranger and you're wearing green and stuff like that, if you're the only ranger wearing green. But if you're the knight, then you should be wearing a shiny suit of armor. And if you're going
Right.
to be I think that's what matters. It's just very similar to, if we're going to talk about like Lord of the Rings. Well, you have Saruman, you have Gandalf, you have Radagast, and you have the two blue wizards. Each of them have what's your color preference? And hey, there's a different color for
I,
each one.
I really can't add to this. My entire wardrobe is black and has been since I was 14. And all
Yeah.
my
Me too.
characters, their wardrobe is black.
Look how
Uh,
edgy you are.
yeah, I mean, Almond's right. I've seen over the years, player characters will come up with their own sort of like coat of arms, or what was his name from Robin Hood, the red guy.
Will Scarlet.
Thank you. Or the Green Arrow, or what have you. Sometimes that actually that sort of motif within a character party can actually really help players role play their character as someone bigger than life. Almost like a superhero persona or costume.
Sure.
Yeah, it really depends on the group, because I've also been in groups where they all would try to take advantage of camouflage. Yeah, here's mine right here. Oh
Well,
no,
I
Are you
mean,
okay.
yours
and
different?
if you want to do it like for mooks, how do I want to put this? The less detailed, more bland should be your NPCs, and your player characters should be like front and center. So, a good example is a cloak,
I like yours better.
a
You like
bright,
mine better,
bright.
really?
Yeah, well, one yours isn't tilting like he's falling
Oh, yes,
over.
he
Like,
is. Yes, he is.
I just
I,
thought
I
that,
have,
like,
I have,
if you wanted a group of two guys to be the same stat sheet, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Well,
I don't know if that's something that's commonly used or not, because I haven't been I
Oh, well,
haven't played enough RPGs to kind of like get that.
It's been
so
broken
from a
off.
role playing standpoint, and we're just going by role playing games. Usually, just for ease of use, everyone has and we're going to call them NPCs. Generally have
Sure.
a universal stat, universal hit points, just to make it easier in the DM.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if you want to do like, if you want to make them more unique, then of course you draw something out. And that's why I said is if you're having your NPC there and he's supposed to be a showy swashbuckler, then give him something brightly colored. It's just like, like took me forever to realize this, but the Pied Piper being a good example of someone wearing two colors,
Right.
a black and a white. Um, those are things to
Nice.
look at.
Green screen is killing it.
And how do I want to put it this way? Our modern sensibilities did not apply to the Middle Ages. They were like, the more gaudy it is, the higher
Mhm.
class you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can
definitely
afford
look at the
Sure.
old
pigments.
like you can look at the Eldar, their color schemes, the
The
Harlequin
Harlequins.
were,
Yeah.
were absolutely insane. But you know what? That was actually all inspired by the way certain people actually dressed in
That's
the real
cool.
world back in the day with
Yeah.
the chaotic, stripes here and checkers here and polka dots there, because that there were so many people who could
Look at you
pull
showing off.
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I
dressing,
suck at painting, man.
gaudily back in those days of swashbuckling. You wanted to be recognized, but they didn't understand, modern sensibilities. How you don't mix certain colors, and you don't mix plaids, stripes and polka dots, stuff that they did. They broke all those rules, and then later, modern man had to change those up completely. I think I have that one.
Do you?
Yeah. So
It's nice.
I mean, from
I
a
love the
player
blood.
standpoint, here's the other part
Blood
too.
paint.
Assume that the players can be about 2 feet away from their miniatures in most cases, and so you want to make sure that the miniature stands out based off of that.
Yeah, the fuzzy on it.
Okay.
This thing.
Okay.
And
I mean, that's gonna kind of be up to them because this is
Sure.
like
Sure.
a entire uh what do you call it? Oh
I don't know. What
God,
do you call it?
company or
the
force
thing where
squad.
you play the entire game around a scenario. A
Oh, yeah.
scenario. It's an
Okay.
entire
The
scenario.
secret
I've
word.
I absolutely hate gravestones. You know why? I have a dozen of them. There's so many of them. I have gravestones. I've been painting them for like a week. I never want to see another
Tired of
grave
kills.
marker again.
You're getting tired of.
I have a portal. I have a portal. It's a beautiful portal. Look at this
Yeah, that
portal.
is.
It's a
No, that's
portal.
cool.
Right. I have a whole bunch of those, and then I got the town guard. But and they're gonna add in their player minis. And
Yeah,
but the
sure.
thing I wanted to make sure was that like if you're running the game, is it easy to run the game based on what's painted in front of you? Because that was like kind of my goal. And after hearing what I've got now, it's more or less like this is cannon fodder.
Yes,
They're gonna
yes,
die
yes.
pretty quick, and the players are gonna be left with the real problem. And
So
would you,
Absolutely.
all American player guy up
Ultra.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you kind of they're gonna die pretty quick, right? I feel like that's a
Their
that
town
the,
guards probably.
the town
I'll
guard,
be honest.
the
I'll
little
be honest.
town
I
guard, they're
spaced
gonna
out
die pretty quick.
I spaced out of this conversation like 10 minutes ago, and because I've been thinking I am so glad I don't waste money on cheap miniatures.
well,
Only
I'm
expensive
They're
miniatures.
not cheap. They're not cheap to this person.
No.
but
They may be cheap. They may be cheap in manufacture, but they should.
not
I'm
in my
looking at the
labor.
other- I'm
Not
looking
your
at
The
the
labor
running
other
joke
part,
too.
too.
is the running joke is it's called 40K because that's how much in debt you'll be after you buy everything for it.
Right.
Well,
We call it 40. Yeah, 40 kidney.
Well,
40
I'm going to
kidney.
be
now, well,
if
I've
you're
told
looking at
y'all.
those things, is
Yeah,
they're going to be, how do I want to put this? Even if they don't die, they're still relegated to a secondary role, and they
Right.
should look like
Right.
they're second tier, just because of that.
Fair
Now,
enough.
if you have, like you said, a big NPC that's coming along, then
Right
you want to
back,
make him
gents.
stand out, which you
Oh,
said you were
you're
going to do
still
with
in
your
charge.
captains and stuff. So yeah, but that doesn't mean you don't make them colorful. It just means that you make them pretty much the same as everybody else in the group. and then you make your individuals, your character, your actual
Right.
your leaders. Those are the ones that should stand out. And you can even see that today. And like I saw someone talk about the military. Yeah, okay. Um, what did the officers wear? Generally, what you want to do is you want to have similar units to have similar composition. So, if this group is halberds, you want them to be of a similar color. But if they're swordsmen, they may have a different color. So it makes it very easy from sight without determining what kind of weapon they have. Like if you said, "Hey, I've got veterans. This is a veteran unit, and this is a regular unit," then you want to dress them differently. That's where you would do it. But making
That's
each
kind of
one
proud of what I
individual,
figured out with
um,
these.
you do that for a painting competition. You don't do that for a game.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Oh,
I
do you
mean,
have a?
I don't use my minis. I've only played in one game. I've been playing since what 85 is when I got introduced to tabletop, and I've played in one game that used minis, and that was back in November.
Well,
But
I appreciate
obviously
it.
I have
I don't want
some.
to I don't want to soapbox too much on the mini
Yeah,
thing, but I appreciate all the input though from everybody involved, because at the end of the day it makes me a better mini painter and somebody that can
I
presumably
I don't.
provide a
Yeah,
better service in the future
I don't know
to
what the
people
hell
that
I'm
want it.
doing.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
don't either. I'm just throwing
I mean
paint on this shit and hope it sticks, right?
that's
I'll
that's
show
Well,
my
kind of what
work
I
in
did here.
progress.
That's kind of what I
Bubba,
did
how
here.
often
I'm
do you
like,
play
okay,
40K?
I'll tell you what, just between us kids, again, Jason at MRS Hobbies, great guy. He is a grognard of the First Order. And he says, you know what? We play 40K every Wednesday night. We're not tournament players. We're not sweaty, crunchy, win at all costs. We all have narrative lists. And okay, I'll show you. So I picked up a box of, if you know anything about 40K, I'll show you. I picked up a box of the Beastmen kill team.
Okay.
Okay. So I got the Beastmen kill team, and I am converting them all to be proxy plague marines.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's this one mini. It's
Oh, okay.
super
That's
it's
cool.
super hard to come by. It's called the Malignant Plaguecaster, right? There are only like two different ones, and you can't find it's like made of unobtainium. So I made, and I do have both of the Malignant Plaguecasters, which is really beside the point. But I have, what I'm doing is I am converting. Okay, I picked up a bunch of 3D printed 30K pauldrons, and I changed all of their guns for bolters, so that I can't figure this out. So there's the 30K. I can't.
Okay.
My camera's back. It's backwards. My camera's backwards, and why am I doing that? Because I want to play a game with the guys that aren't a bunch of sweaty, crunchy, win at all cost. If I'm
Amen.
gonna if I'm gonna play,
Amen.
I want to play a game. If I'm gonna play a game that's gonna simulate death, I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Okay,
Amen.
no, here's my proxy. If I can zoom in on my proxy Plaguecaster. I need to watch out. I'm building a Nurgle topper form right now to get rid of the generic Chaos Star.
So how often do you actually play, Bo?
I don't. I never have.
Oh, really? Okay.
Nope. I just like painting. So I'm
Okay.
painting I'm painting a Death Guard army because I am at a point in my life where if I want to spend a few ducats on minis, and I can hide out down here for when I'm not playing RPGs.
See, I want to say that Bo is the flex on gamer, just like I am. He is the one person you don't want to meet at a tournament because he has finally dragged his army out of the painting stage into the "I'm going to absolutely destroy you" stage.
No, I never want. I want to
Uh,
be the guy that
just
has
just
fun at the
just
tabletop and play the bad guys.
just like my favorite friend here, which I have yet to name, but just like the Warlord Titan,
Oh
this
yeah.
is just the chest and one shoulder piece of the Warlord Titan that I
Oh,
have in
Oh,
pieces.
Are warlords the big ones or the little ones?
This
Warlords are the
when
big
it's
ones.
when
a
it's
second
fully
from the top.
when it's fully kitted out, like with the legs and everything, it stands as small as like a 6-year-old child. It's huge. It's like it's big. It's big. It's up to my waist. It's
Mhm.
absolutely massive. But
Is that a real Forge World?
no,
That's
it's
not
not.
China
It's
cast
not.
or
This is actually
or
from the
3D print.
from a company called the Titan Manufactorum. They used This was so early. They used dental 3D printing in
Ooh,
order to make
that's
the
heavy.
casts
Wow.
for the different parts, such as the head. This is made on a dental 3D printer that
Okay.
they used to make braces, and so is every single part of this Titan. The
They used
problem
them to make
is that
dentures too.
in order to reduce cost, because the actual mini,
Yeah, I don't want to know what that cost.
it was $5,000 brand new.
Wow.
On eBay when I bought it, it was I bought it on auction for uh $500,
Wow,
and
American?
yeah. Now the problem is that the person who sold it to me, they went away on a business trip, and their quote unquote significant other packed it, and they packed it in grocery bags, so
And it broke.
it's
Oh
it's
no.
absolutely like trashed.
Oh
And
no.
I've been
I don't know
trying to
why
put it
Oh.
people
back
don't understand
together.
that. I
I've
The
been
hate
word
when
trying.
people.
family comes to
I mean,
mind.
it was plastic
My
grocery
heart
bags.
my heart breaks.
I got my money back, but I've been trying to piece it back together, and like this is the biggest part that I've been able to like kind of put back together.
Uh-huh.
And I hope someday I can kind of put it back together and like claim it as the PML 40K channel mascot. But I have had it back together, at least the legs and the torso,
Uh-huh.
once, and it does stand about as tall as a 6-year-old. It's
Yikes.
very tall. It's
Yeah,
massive,
they're
and it's
not even
heavy too.
So what is it?
Oh yeah.
What is it like?
Wow.
Yeah.
Two-thirds scale or
No,
I will bring
third
out.
scale?
No.
This is the lower half.
Okay.
And I again, it's
Trying to
in
think
pieces
6-year-old.
because I've been trying to rebuild it. But
I
this is
just
as far as I've gotten on the lower. This is the like crotch and bottom half. Let me put the head down, and then you put the barn on
yeah.
that part. I'll kind of get back.
Wow.
Jeez.
That is, and we don't even have a knee. There's a knee underneath the bottom part. That looks really bad. If I
I
put my
love
pinky
it.
out, if I put my pinky out, it looks really bad. But like there's a knee under there. It's
Okay,
really
now
really big.
yes,
This is me standing up. This is my chest. It goes up from my neck to my abdomen.
Is that like a mech? Is that what that is? I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
yeah,
very
it's
familiar.
like a mech.
Size mech.
Yes.
It's
Imagine a cross between a mech and a cathedral.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
A
this
mech
is
It's
in a
like
a
cathedral.
the church
No,
See
no,
is
that?
no.
coming
That's
to
Remember
40K.
kill
that
you.
new?
this
40K.
this is
That's the
this is
cannon. That's the
this
war.
is one of the guns that fits into the arm.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like the Trex Crusaders game?
I no, it's 40K.
40K.
But
They literally have a. I remember when I was looking at Trex Crusaders when it was first like getting popular before the wrong people started getting into it. They literally had like a church mech, basically, where it was like a walking church
they swiped
in
that
mecha
idea from
form.
40K.
Yeah.
Back,
So, okay.
back in the late
40K.
80s.
You get that thing together. You get it painted pristine. You get a glass display case for it, and you take it to all the conventions. And when you're selling your product, you let people take pictures of it with their, and that it brings your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I
that's
promise.
why I love you, Bo. That's why I love you.
Yeah,
So,
that's.
so
I would stand
Baba
in line just
Yaga
to get a
takes
picture with it.
this.
Yes, it is the 40K Baba Yaga walking church.
Now
So-
the thing that I've had with it though is that this was the last pattern Titan that was built prior to Games Workshop building so they have two patterns of Warlord Titan. One is the
Right.
Lucius, and
Right.
one is the Mars.
Mhm.
Right.
And the Mars is the one that they commercially, if you have enough big bucks, like if you sold a car, you could
Yeah.
probably afford the Mars one because like you got to buy it in like 4 parts and it's a big
Yeah.
investment.
But
This
wait,
Lucius
you
Like a
one
bus
though,
or something.
the
if you
body,
don't,
the
if you
body,
don't,
the head, and the weapons come separate. So it's 4 different pieces you have to buy.
right. But like the Lucius one though, if you don't custom build it, there's none around. And there's only very few. And there's like a society of people on a forum that keep track of all of the titans that are above a certain like Warhound and above.
Right.
They keep track of that. And there's like only like 30 of these in the world.
It's
Right.
And
kind of like
I've got one of them.
it's like the R2D2 society. You know, the
Yeah.
people who make the real life size computer.
Yeah.
Build R2D2s.
Well, you know, Don Samora does that, right? Shadow.
What? Build R2D2s?
Yeah. He actually sold, I think, an X-wing to Kathleen Kennedy.
What?
Everybody was giving him crap for that. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
money's money,
So,
you know.
so my
But yeah, that's
suggestion-
the thing. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah. But she was
So
nice
do you
to
have a
me, is
3D
what he said, and
printer?
I'm like, well, everybody.
Well, Chippy, this is one that she did make ET, so we do owe her for that.
Well, she did Goonies. But what she was is she was very good at getting coffee, is what she was.
Well, she was moderately okay at getting coffee, from what I've heard. But
Well, I mean, if you look at it, like we were watching one movie, it's like, oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy was behind the Goonies. I'm sorry, the
Oh, yeah,
Gremlins. It was behind a
got
lot
some
of the
good
stuff.
credits.
Yeah, well, she was fine as a second person, but becoming the head, that's where she was not supposed to be.
And that's what I worry about with Filoni too. It's like I liked a lot of Filoni stuff before Disney went off the rails, But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
see.
hey Shadow, I'm just curious. When are we gonna see Sun come back? Like you got something brewing in the background.
We got Shadow, but no
I'm
Sun.
I'm poking just a little bit. Just
Well,
curious.
I mean, this is last year of high school, and he's personally carrying the school newspaper. He's a major in JROTC. He's taking piano and trumpet class. He's in the band. He's dungeon mastering once a month.
Fair
and-
enough. I was just
There's no
curious
time.
what's going on. You don't gotta. I'm not asking for a defense. I was just like, just curious. I've heard
the
a
next
little bit.
time He'll be with
He's a
us.
dad. He has to brag. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break away.
The
I'm
next
so
time
happy though.
me too. I'm so proud, is what it is.
Amen.
And James and I were talking about him the other day because when I was 14, I knew his name. Okay, I've been planning for this my whole life.
Right.
And when he was like 2, I was able to stop work and be a stay-at-home dad and like guide him to where he's gotten, and he's like leaps and bounds ahead of anything I've ever done. At that level, and he will be here for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which is going to happen soon. But I can't do it without Matt Tapp from Barrels and Borderlands, and I absolutely
yeah.
can't do it without George and Dave from Emperor's Choice. But they're just Dave just had surgery on his foot, and they're still doing the last little things for the Kickstarter that everybody received their big Portal to Adventure Kickstarter. And so they're all gonna come on the show, and Jackie's gonna do the dice thing where he rolls the dice to see who gets the prizes. But unless it's like a big thing, like he filmed me doing the unboxing instead of his mom because his mom can't hold the camera, for like a couple of minutes.
I-
She
I
just
don't-
came with
What
with
is
her-
this Portal to Adventure you talk of? I don't know.
I didn't buy one.
Yeah, well,
they did. By the way, was it your stream that I was on where we were talking about the cases,
uh-huh.
and I pointed out that mine was backwards.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I've
That
got
was-
another one. That's why
We,
this
we
is
were. I'm pretty sure it was all of us
Comparing.
here a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago together
So I was trying
doing this.
and
Yeah,
now
because I
I
was trying
have
to
one that
understand
is
how he
right.
was holding
They
it.
sent
That's
me
what I was
another
confused
one.
on.
Basically it was probably whenever they were assembling. Not I know it wasn't Dave and George. I'm
No,
sure
no, no, no.
the manufacturer
It's
of
just
the
that piece of
cases.
plastic is backwards,
Yeah, because I'm
Right.
sure it was printed on a line and then they glued it together or whatever,
and
however they seam it.
some
Oh, so the panel that the logo was on was
This
installed backwards.
panel
yes.
should be flipped around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Yep.
other
You
than
think
that, it's functional. It's just
And you've got a one of a kind.
I
You know,
do have
so it
I
is.
have a one of a kind, but they did. Dave and George were really great. They were like, "Oh, we need to fix that," and they shipped me
Okay.
another one.
Oh, you lucky.
That's what
Nice,
you. Well,
nice.
no, I mean,
I've got three of them, so I
yeah.
can't complain. You know,
I mean, I
um,
thought about buying an extra one, but I mean, if they want this
I
one
did.
back, I'll send it to them. But I don't. I think they were like, no, we need to make it
I
right.
just got a I got an extra copy of Radioactive Boogaloo and another copy of Castle of Dracula in Space for Matt because I'm going to be running it at a local con coming up this summer. So I'm going to be running people through like the character creation, and then like all Saturday evening, and then most of Sunday, it's just going to be them all running the characters through Dracula in Space.
Yeah. Wait, I mean, you see
Bill,
what I got here? That's not the one from the Portal to Adventure. This is
Yeah,
one that I.
that's one of the actual sets that he will usually sell. The
Yeah.
one for Portal Adventure is like it's like a special edition box.
Right. That's this one.
you had your hand up, Bill.
Yeah, can I just point out that the I after hearing what you guys have said about the Portal to Adventure, um, the fact that
It was
the
painted.
acrylic that you guys have, it's all laser engraved, and I can't imagine. I wonder how many orders they had where the manufacturer never mirrored the image on X amount of acrylics.
I mean, it's gold. It's
That
like
would
gold
suck.
foil.
As the person that manufactured it,
Yeah.
imagine if they sold out half of them that were correct and then half of them where they forgot to literally hit just a button that says mirror so that it read correctly. Oh, that would suck. Oh, that would suck
I
so
wouldn't be
bad.
able to tell you the answer, but it's like I'll
Oh,
be
no,
surprised if
it's not an answer. It would just be that would suck.
Let's put it this way: each box sells for $50.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously they didn't pay that. George and Dave didn't pay that to get them, but
Right.
there's it's still not a it's not like you're making paper cups or plastic forks.
Right.
I mean, these things are thick.
Whoever did this, uh, it, it's funny because these boxes are like one of the huge, bigger selling points. Obviously the material that goes in them is phenomenal,
That's this.
but no one's ever done this bulletproof, protective, magnetic case for a role playing game ever. You know what I mean? It's going to go down in history because in a few weeks and the back scratchers, you'll never see them again, and anybody else who
or
tries to pull this off is just going to
They'll
get
be copycats.
big fat copycat
Yep.
plagiarist
Yeah,
bastards.
but the whole hobby's copycats, so it doesn't.
I
really,
think
it
I'm trying
is,
to remember
it's
whose video it
100%.
was, but
I mean,
they called the back scratcher a
yeah, I have
figure
one of those.
pusher. So instead
Yeah,
of
it's
using it to
very
scratch your back,
reminiscent of the when you see the old movies of the big war game table in a movie, where they're pushing, troops and units.
Oh,
It's just like that. I mean, you absolutely are going to have people who are going to end up doing that. Pushing their
I mean,
movement trays of miniatures or their battleships or what have you.
it
Um,
literally is the length of my forearm to the
so
fingertips.
I have
Yep.
one. Yeah. He had that on. Well, you have the maps in the background. That's where they sent them out with those as well for the back scratchers.
when I see this, I keep thinking that one little scene from Family Guy where he's at the ballpark selling these, but he's going butt scratcher, get your butt scratcher.
Butt scratchers.
it's a big issue. Sorry, I'm behind on the comments, guys.
Well, the
All
problem I
right.
have with 40K is that it's not intended to be a game. It's intended to sell miniatures.
I'm only here to paint.
Well, exactly, and that's what the majority of it, and what the hope is that
Take
you
care
buy a
off,
lot
good.
of it
Sorry,
and you
I'm
don't actually
behind on the
paint.
comments.
Orange dice. That's the ones in my Borrows and Borderlands.
I
See,
got
that's
I
why I
got
got so
girly
many.
dice with mine for some reason. They gave me a
I,
set of
I,
like
I,
pink and white girly
I'm
dice.
giving away at least one of the Kickstarters for the giveaway. But I went through all of them and picked the dice that I want. I wasn't getting stuck with the pink dice.
Yeah,
So it's just
I didn't see if there's.
whoever gets the Kickstarter, you're probably getting pink dice.
Well, know
Oh, look,
what's going to
this one's
happen
got purple
is he's going
dice.
to give away the ones with the pink dice, and he's going to find out that they're glow in the dark, and he's going to be like, ah.
Shut up.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Oh, look, this is so neat. They glow under blacklight."
Yes,
And
there are a
the
few
shadow's
minis
gonna
in the
go.
Kickstarter, James. There are.
Well, actually,
I'm sorry.
the ones I got from Goodman Games. Now they don't take light very well, but they do glow in the dark if I put them on the sunlight for like 20 minutes, and you bring them in, they'll glow in the dark, and they're pinkish white.
Yeah, I've got. Every once in a while, I've got a set of original glow in the dark color dice. But
Hmm?
back in 1980, I found a bag of dice, and in this bag of dice, and for those of you who know anything about glow in the dark, I found two of these D4s. And you guys know glow in the dark stuff usually glows what color?
Green.
In the
Green.
dark.
Yep.
Oh, sorry,
dark.
green.
Smart.
These came from the future because in 1980 they did not have blue glow in the dark anything. If I turn out the lights, this will glow blue. I used to have two of them, but some filthy so and so swiped one of my blue D4 glow in the dark dice.
Did
I've
he
had
swipe
this
it, or
since
did you just happen
19
to
freaking
lose it after someone stepped on it?
Yeah, no joke.
But I've been carrying that die around since 19 freaking 80. I found it in the Unicorn's Lair over on Brookhurst and Hazard, a game shop that was actually in like issue 3 of Dragon magazine. And
He's lying. It's really a gay bar. Unicorn's lair.
I didn't name the place, dude. I was 14.
That's when they usually come out.
Um, but at the time, I was dating a nice freaking, a wonderful girl that I met through that place. And to this day, finding anything, that does not glow green is still not easy. I've got a bottle of paint. I think it's here, that I've also had for about 20 years. And it looks like your typical glow in the dark color. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But it will glow blue. And back 20 years ago when I bought this, it was $20. This tiny little bottle of paint.
Oof.
Is it irradiated? Is my next question.
Probably.
Are you?
Real radium.
Don't lick your brushes, man.
Yeah,
I was in
true.
that play, the Iridium Girls, or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, we talked about them a couple weeks ago.
Woo!
This just came today. I haven't even.
Is that Duluth Pack?
I don't
Is that
know.
what's the
All right.
what's the make on that?
Made in the U.S. Frost River.
Now I have a question for the peanut gallery.
I live actually. I have lived in the city that was made in.
Duluth, Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah, these
Yep.
are made in the because this is
They're-
from
Yep.
Troll Lord Games,
Mhm.
and they are adamant about everything that they do.
It
being
takes.
made in the U.S.
I have been there. It takes forever to make one of those bags, and they have specialized machines to make that. Like World War One machines that they have to call people special in to maintain their machines.
When the Mutant Chronicles Doom Trooper, whatever RPG came out through Modifius, they had a bag like that to hold the game books or what have you.
Well, that's where they are. They're in here.
And I would kill for one of those bags because I didn't even know about it at the time. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Mutant Chronicles.
All right, peanut gallery. What color? Pick a color, any color. Pick a color. What color do I paint? The very end, the very tippy tip of his plasma gun. I'm gonna spray some yellow ink or orange ink here when I get my airbrush out.
A whitish.
Can we
blue,
make big?
So it looks like
Can we make big?
like
Any
a
color.
big-
Just
neon.
pick a color.
Yeah,
White
neon.
Make
Well,
the
maybe the
shadow-
plasma coil's orange. I'm gonna do the plasma coil's orange when I I'm gonna spray over the orange that's there now. That's just the placeholder until I get the airbrush out. Yeah, I can do. I don't have any I don't have any bronze green. I can do it green like that. I could do
Inquisitor
that.
Shadow and Sun. Can you make it a little bigger, please, Inquisitor Sir? He's already
White
got his
and
own
blue.
like life-size
Hold on.
plasma pistol.
Hold on. There we
Hold
go.
on.
Okay, okay, all right. So you
I
got
just
like
need
a
to do-
Death Guard thing going on,
Well, it's it's the 14th Legion colors, not the
right?
new Death Guard colors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I just need to do the tippy tip of that. I don't have any. I have a million colors. I just don't know what to paint it. I could do green.
Do you have hold on, do you have
There's too much green. If you're going to do a different color than the green.
I was gonna say Aztec gold would go with it from Army
I don't-
Painter. It's that metallic
Well,
green.
it's a plasma thing. You're gonna shoot it out. It's gonna be gold if you shoot it out. Like I don't know about that.
It's good.
could
Yeah,
do-
I-
you do a bluish white.
I have
I
a,
would-
well, I was gonna do no. I'm gonna do the chaos plasma's orange. So I'm gonna airbrush. I'm gonna airbrush that where that's orange right there. I'm gonna do an orange ink to for overspray for a little OSL.
Yeah.
Was
But
James
I don't
talking about the mini? Was that him talking about the minis in the Arduins pack? Is that what
Yeah.
he was?
Yeah.
You want my opinion? Make it almost like you're doing a doing
just do this little tippy tip needs to be.
do it.
What, Brian? I could do it.
Hold on.
I would make it a gray blue. If you're using monument stuff, make it like a gray blue. Like they're
I think both
sorry,
for
wrong
us.
camera.
Thanks, James.
If you did it a gray blue, like almost like the wolf color blue
Mhm.
out of G Dubs. If you made it that color, that would be really cool with the 13th, like original 13th
Who's trying to
Legion
join?
colors. That would be
Probably
pretty cool.
Bo, because Bo froze up there.
I'll be right back.
Right.
Seeing how Bo
Um,
has not moved the entire time.
Yeah. Hold on.
That is a cool bag, though. I'm not gonna lie. That is a really cool bag. I haven't seen them produce something like that before. But
Restream.
Yeah, no, where's Bo?
what's up, Bo?
I was going to say, Bo, I would look at like welding equipment, and
Oh no, I wasn't gonna do. I could do that. You're talking about like a flame effect, like a what's that called? The effect where it turns from yellow.
In the arc.
Where it
Yeah,
turns,
no,
it turns
no,
from yellow to blue.
yeah. You know
That,
how
no, that's too hard to do in something this small. It won't
really?
look good. It won't look good. I know how to do that effect, but it needs to be on something bigger to really pop. Because you do a bronze, like a metallic straw yellow at one end,
Mhm.
and then you do purple in the middle, and then you do blue at the very tip.
Yeah. I think they also call that mermaid. I've seen some knives with that sort of weird, like.
Yeah, you see it on like motorcycle exhaust pipes where it happens naturally. It's really as a paint effect, it's hard to do well. It looks anyway.
My recommendation is to go to a gray blue. This is out of monuments, though. I strictly work out of monument.
I agree with
but if
Big Zell.
you use this gray blue, go from a dark blue to a gray blue and then a light blue at the end, can work really well as a contrasting color to that kind
this
of
is going
green.
to be the plasma coil color.
Yeah.
That now we got that in the mix, and that's a different
What?
That's going to be this is war paint power node glow.
That is write that down for me. That's a
Is
color.
it a pink?
I could drop $5
like
on
an
easy.
iridescent pink?
Yes,
Red?
that's going to be the plasma coil colors.
Yeah, your thumb is actually covering the best part of that bottle at the bottom where you can really see that.
Yeah.
That freaking color is freaking gorgeous. Not a lot of uses I would get out of it, but it is freaking amazing.
So I'm just going to put a little tippy tip in the airbrush with the 0.2 millimeter needle, and put a little bit of reducer in it, and just I'll probably go over the coils again once more with a white on the very surface
Hold on,
to
I'm
make.
really up. There's Death Angel.
All right. I got so here we have transparent red. So
Yeah, I've got that. I've
you
got
can
that
put
exact
that
one.
you can put that over the and granted you're going to want to bring up the saturation on whatever you've got behind it because it's transparent, right?
Oh, that's what I said.
And
Yeah.
and you don't want to use you want to use a little bit of water, but like very very little. Like if you were to take a small caliber brush like um this one I've got is a 1. You're going to want to just basically make this saturated with water and add like basically a drop. The transparent paints don't need a lot, but they need a little bit of water to actually make them transparent. Otherwise, you're just adding red. But then go and add your gold pyral or the bold pyral red to the end tip of it and kind of make a gradient. That could be really cool, especially since you're kind of going with like a white on pink. I for 40K that would be kind of my go-to. Um, I have like unless you really want to go like full on, Kenny Boucher style of painting where you're going to go from a like a burgundy to this transparent red kind of color and like bring it up very like slowly from like dark flesh here where it's like kind of red, but like if you work up to that flaming red at the end and like almost put a white with the transparent red at the end, I that's what I would do anyways. Is like, primary colors, add a little bit like, an eth to the end and then gold pyro red and transfer that color to it with
For the
the
end of the
transparent.
gun.
Yeah. Like I mean, because this transparent red is going to make a fake gradient with this super hot red. I mean, it's like fire engine red when you paint it on there and it's opaque. If you can make a fake gradient with this in just 2 colors, if you
Huh.
paint whatever you've got under it. Um,
I'm just worried that a bright red for the for the gun itself might be a little too busy.
this is that pyro red.
Yeah, I think I've got it. Hold
on a marine. Like this is that same color. And if you were to take this as a transparent color and work it up to this on the end of your gun, I mean it's insanely red. Is what
I've got burnt red and bold pyro red and transparent red. Holy shit! Look at that.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Got a
Boom! I got transparent red. I got burnt red. I got pyro red.
Yeah.
See, I told you I gave Monument Hobbies plenty of money.
Hey, where did Hunter go?
So if I start with the burnt red at the very on one end, yeah, maybe work up to, like you said, work up a little gradient. Let's see how busy it looks. I can always paint over it. I'm gonna go real thin.
Okay, take care, Omen. Take care, Hunter.
I'm gonna use a little bit. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna use a little bit of water. Actually, do I have any medium? Yes, I do. I've got some magic juice. The magic juice is water and matte medium and a little bit of soap.
No flow aid?
No, that's what
the soap is that.
The soap is that.
Right,
Yep.
right. But
Yeah.
I tend to like overdo it. There's your Doom Doom
Yeah,
Guard?
I hadn't opened them up yet, so
Yeah,
James was asking about
I gotta tell you, Death Angel,
their real
I
name.
was real tempted to like take the extra Kickstarter and like piece it out, but I'm like, you know what? Nope. One lucky mofo who qualified for the contest is gonna get the full freaking Kickstarter.
Well, it is my birthday tomorrow.
I know. And, well, the giveaway is about a week or more away, so we'll see what happens. I mean, you have a 1 in 16 chance, Bo.
It's all good all the time.
Yeah, I should have pulled those minis out, Death Angel, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna buy more because I'm making a big Arduino order because I don't have hardly any
I
So,
need to put in a big auto order, but the cost of their shipping kills.
well, right now everything kills because they've shut down a bunch of stuff because they have to focus on getting the last people their
Yeah.
Kickstarters and do all that. But when the time comes, uh,
Yeah,
they
because
do
I'm.
everybody right, Bo. You know that.
Yes, they
Um,
do.
the the
I have
the,
no
the
complaints.
Oh, I've been doing. They said the whole reason I want to back the Kickstarter is because literally I already have all of the Arduin books,
Mhm,
and I didn't want to buy 2 sets of Arduin books, and I literally have almost everything in print that they've ever done.
mhm. That didn't that didn't stop me.
No,
Uh,
it didn't stop you, but I also have, I got 3 kids at
Yeah, yeah,
home, and
it's true. It's
yeah.
true. I only got one that I know of.
I got, and I mean, I just paid, I just had to, 3 pipes in my basement replaced. That cost 4 grand.
Dude,
Wait,
the
wait,
wife
wait,
was
wait. You didn't do it yourself?
dude.
I don't mess with the toilet mains.
Yeah.
No, these are like big 4-inch pipes.
Yeah.
Even with 2 plumbers, it took them a whole day.
Bo, I told
And
you,
they know what they're doing. You wouldn't,
right.
right? Yeah.
I'm having my entire plumbing redone in my house. Okay. We got the quote a couple of days ago. At 6 grand for not PVC but not copper, and then
Pex.
and
Is
then
it Pex?
the wife's like, I don't trust it. I want to do copper. Two
No,
grand
no,
later, I'm looking at 8 grand. I know. She doesn't get it,
no,
but
no.
she's
Because let me tell you, having grown up in Florida, well, the reason why they don't do copper anymore is because every lightning strike it conducts and
yeah.
it causes pinholing, and it's a hell of a lot more expensive to replace and track down where the copper inside the walls is now spraying out and saturating your drywall and your 2x4s that may need to be replaced and the black mold and yeah. No.
I know, but
I find it funny that you guys are paying these dudes after. You know what we do in Minnesota? You hand them 2 Benjamins and you tell them, what does it take? And then they end up with a much cheaper quote.
um,
I'm just saying.
Forget
I
about
mean,
it.
you don't even before they enter the door, you just hand them 2 Benjamins. You know what happens then? Oh,
Maybe
no,
maybe
no, no,
that's
no,
what
no,
I
no.
need to maybe that's what I need to do about my driveway. I have a
um,
shared
I mean,
driveway.
if you know it's going to be expensive, and I mean, it does take a little research beforehand, but
Yeah.
if you think it's going to take $1,500 to do this, but before they even say, hi, my name is, and you have 2 Benjamins in their hand, different story. Everything turns
no.
magically.
See,
It's like rolling a nat 20. You just hand them 2 Benjamins.
no, see, I live in California, and every guy who's ever worked on our houses barely spoke English, and my wife has friends and family, etc. They all come in and they do the thing, and that's just the way it's going to be. If I were to hire a white guy to come in my house to do anything, the
It would
wife would
cost a lot more.
the wife would lose her shit, and it would cost a hell of a lot more. But it's going to
Oh,
cost.
for sure. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if you called them in and you said, "Hi, my name is Bill," and then
No,
just
no, no,
like
no.
under the table you
No,
slip
no, no,
that.
no. We call people we've who've been here before, and they're related to somebody that we know,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's
Get
not.
referrals. Yeah. Yeah. That referrals
I
is
mean, if they knew my immigration stance, trust me, things would be different.
yeah.
Uh,
Because I think yours is probably a lot like mine. But that
and they wouldn't even come in the house. But she handles that, and then I handle when they get here, and then they're like, okay, and things are fine. But we live in California, so the lightning thing isn't really a thing because it like never rains up here in the desert.
yeah.
But when it does, it's like 3 weeks straight. Ask Cal.
Oh,
Uh,
I
and
suppose. I mean, you're dealing with kind of a different situation there. I
Yeah,
suppose. Yeah.
you know, uh, I hear people say this thing,
Right.
happy wife, happy life. It's a new expression to me. As everybody and everybody who knows me know, I pretty much get what I want one way or the other. But with this, I'm like, all right, fine, because it would. I know in the long run, it would. I would probably be paying another $5,000 on top if I hired the guys.
Yeah.
As it is, it's going to be 8 freaking grand to do this, and I've got to move everything I own. I've got to move in the next week, one way or another, whether it's the garage or up here because they got. I mean, they're doing the whole freaking house, and I'm like, as it is,
Well,
I'm going to end up doing all the painting after they're done, which is going to save me like $1,000 because they were like,
You're gonna feel it, man. You're gonna feel it too. Let me still tell you, 2 years ago I started painting my living room and hallway.
Oh, I painted the whole
I
house.
haven't finished it.
No, when we first moved in, I painted the interior of the entire house, including our like almost 30-foot ceiling on a
It
freaking
hurts, don't it?
scaffold. I was literally on my back doing
Yeah.
the
trim.
Michelangelo freaking
Oh.
painting the ceiling with the scaffolding that there was barely enough room. I had to crawl in like backwards so I could fit on the scaffolding to paint the ceiling. But I
You have
used to
you have
paint
vaulted
houses.
ceilings.
Yes,
Oh
insane,
yeah.
insane because I live in the desert, so it's either insanely hot, like 120 degrees for a couple
Oh
of
yeah.
months,
Yeah.
or it's 30 degrees outside, like right now. I know that's not cold to you,
I,
Canadian friends of
I
ours.
lived in Vegas, man. I've seen it do that in the desert.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean we've
Thir-
had days. We've
30
had days
degrees
where,
Fahrenheit?
yeah,
yeah. What other temperature scale would you use?
That's cold?
to me it's cold. Well,
That's
considering
cold.
I deal with 120 most, a good portion of the year.
We had negative 38 over here just a couple of weeks ago.
I know. And if I were to ever walk into that temperature that is literally colder than my freezer, it's actually warmer in my freezer right now. I would literally die.
We
I
we
don't do
have
cold weather.
we actually have heating elements in our coolers here. If you want to go buy like a Coke or a Pepsi, there's heating elements in the coolers
yeah,
here.
To keep them
yeah.
up to temperature.
I
My
now
my
I know you totally prefaced it with that. I just gotta flex a little bit, but like we're the
Take
coldest
care,
thing you'll
James. I'll
get
talk to
to
you tomorrow.
I
Brother.
had to
Eskimos in
turn
the
up
US.
the,
My
the
bad.
temperature on my outdoor refrigerator, the refrigerator I've got on my back patio. I had to turn up the temperature on it because the Diet Cokes got stashed out there had ice crystals in them.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Sorry,
Mind you,
Shadow.
I lived in Virginia for a while. It was pretty cold there, but I just since my back injury, I cannot do cold weather. I can't even jump in a swimming pool unless it's like 110 or more outside. Cold water hits my spine and
Oh, your
just
muscles
muscle
kind of freak.
spasms just
Yeah.
freak the shit out.
All
They
right,
told me I was never going to walk normal again after my injury.
I
I
did it,
still
but
don't walk normal. You
I
should see
don't
me walk
know.
Quasimodo.
All
But
right, hold on a second. I did it. I didn't do it super well, but
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Yeah. You got the
You
idea.
guys are
hold on, Bo,
professionals. I'm an
Let me make it bigger so we can
hold
get
on.
the
I'm big
full
in
effect.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more to your right, I think. Yeah, there
No,
you
my
go.
left. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
camera's
see,
reversed.
you see what you got going there, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That looks hot as hell. And
Yeah.
then just add a little bit of white to the last red stage of that
Oh, right
on the
here.
tip. Yeah. And then put the transparent red
Over it.
very thinly with a little extra water over the end of it. And
Okay.
it'll
Oh,
look
over
like
the white.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've
yeah.
got some ultra high pigment white here.
Sure.
So let's see what.
For future audience, the people that are watching this, am I the only one who feels like a complete and utter freaking crap painter listening to these two guys? It's like,
No,
what?
I am a crap painter, and that's fine. I don't mind being a crap painter. That's why I like being with guys that can offer good, solid advice. But I just spilled another drop of paint on my pants.
I just played. I mean, I mean, that's not that good, is it?
It's not horrible. It's
No,
actually
it's great.
I mean,
Here's what
I
I'll
don't know
say
what the
about
hell I'm
painting.
doing.
If you're I like a lot of people say this, and this is the thing that I have the hardest time with. Like a lot of people on YouTube or whatever platform you're on, they will show you only the happiest parts of painting. And no matter where you are on social media, people have this thing where they like share the happiest part of their lives, and like you don't get to see all of the mistakes and the things that happen along the way that
Oh,
made them happy in that part. And like
Bill.
as a painter, the biggest thing that I can give to anyone is if you're not happy painting, be happy as a gamer, and be happy with other gamers who don't mind playing with gray models or whatever. Like just be happy gaming.
yeah.
And if you're happy painting, paint the models so you can be happy painting and gaming. And
Yes,
if you're not happy with any of that, just be a painter. Paint the models for the people
I
who love gaming,
I
and
tell
like
you what.
do those things.
When I go to a game shop
Hmm.
and I see minis on the tabletop, and I'm being respectful, and I don't touch them without permission, and I look at them at eye level. I can almost always find something.
Oh,
We lost you.
he was really passionate for a minute.
Over his
What
path
happened,
over.
Bo? What happened? Okay, while
He
we're waiting
freeze.
for him to come back, I'm going to say something I always say. I've been saying it for years. When you're painting, you're going to get to this point where the miniature looks like crap, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
You're like,
Yeah.
I've been painting and it looks like you're halfway done.
Hmm.
You're at exactly the halfway point.
Oh, he
Yep.
dropped.
Push through that because you're not done until it looks like crap first. Okay, here comes Bo.
Is he coming back?
Here
Yeah,
comes
is it
Mr.
coming back?
Bo.
Is it restream being restream? It's been doing that the past week or so.
I don't know. I haven't done a live stream since the last time we were all together.
Oh,
It's restream being restreamed because my phone. I mean, I've got a good high speed Wi-Fi, and my phone is plugged in, so it's not running on battery.
yeah.
Anyway, point is,
They've
you
been
don't.
making some changes. Anyway, go ahead. Finish with your passion. Sorry.
You can. I'm saying you can if you go to a game store or a tournament or whatever, somebody's house. You can always find something to compliment the mini on.
Yeah.
You can always tell. You can always say, "Look, that thing, whatever that thing is, I learned from you today." There you go. There's now I've got the fake the fake 3-layer gradient.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, people are talking about like slot painting or what do they call it? Slap paint? What is
Slap
it?
chop. Slap
Slap
chop.
chop.
And I don't know what that is. All I know is I
Oh,
just start and I
you're
just play around with it, and I'm like, I wonder what this will do. you
now
know?
you see these two minis here.
Yeah.
The mini on the, I guess, the left side of the screen, my right, because it's mirrored. The one with the yellow kind of tabard.
Yeah.
This is slap chopped, and this is like so this
What?
client wants the mini now, like really now.
Yeah.
Uh, and I have very little recourse on how to make a gradient, but you can still see there are like lighter colors.
Hmm.
And then I have a zombie on the other side, and this is halfway through the painting process. We're getting, this is very far away from finished product.
Mhm.
Now, if they
Like,
if they wanted something, uh, and a lot of these minis, I'm trying to find one that's kind of closer. So this mini on the other side, you can see kind of the facial texture,
Mhm.
where you have a darker pigment on either side of the face, so you get a little bit of a um like shadow effect
Yeah.
going on. That's many layers of different color paints. It took Each one of these models took I took an entire night just to do the faces on them because
Did-
I
Right.
didn't want to uh I didn't want to deal with it later. But like this zombie is going to be a different completely different paint scheme than just the face on a guardsman,
yeah.
like a pink face. I have a couple of them that are a darker color, but this is halfway through, and this to me is like, I can do better than this. And Bo is in the middle of that process where he's making the gradient and trying to get it further and further along until he reaches his final goal. But all of this is brown. It just looks like so much brown, and you've got like
Yeah.
orange in here. At the end of the day, this model is going to look completely different when you're at the final stage.
Okay,
And
I want to
that's
see. I want to see that. I want to see a picture, or you come back when you've done that, so that we can show people exactly what you're
You
talking.
should take a
I-
picture before and then take a picture in the same position and when it's done so we can see. Do
All right,
do like a side by side.
I've got to
you
check
want
out.
me to do that now?
Yeah,
It's midnight.
hold on just a minute, because we're gonna call it quits here in just a minute. But I
I've
want
got to try to
Will.
get the paint off these pants while I still can.
Oh no! Good luck with that, ladies and gentlemen who are watching this in the future. Thanks for showing up, everybody. We had a lot of fun here. A lot of cool people came and joined me. I'm really grateful to be able to hang out with you guys and do this. Hopefully, we'll get to do this again real soon, because it's been a long week and I got a longer week ahead of me. Literally, I have to move everything in my garage and everything near every freaking wall that's got pipes in it, and I got to do it all by myself.
I wish I could help you, man. I really could, but I mean, but
And
you
there
get.
would be no one helping me with any of
I'm
that.
afraid I'd burst into flames if I went to California. So you know,
I would totally help you.
I know you would, Bo, but
I would too.
uh,
What I could do, I'm not sure what I'd be good at.
well, I mean, I've got I don't even know what to move yet, because I don't know where the pipes are. I got an idea,
Yeah.
Right.
in the garage. I know there's one wall that they have to be in. Everywhere else, it's like I got no clue. And
Mine are up there.
thank God I don't keep any of my stuff in the bathrooms or the kitchen like I used to, because I did. I used to have miniatures in every room of the house and books before I got this studio. When we kicked, we had a kid, family member living here. When he left, I'm like, I am taking that room. Uh, and the wife is much happier that I don't have miniatures and things in the kitchen and things soaking in little jars of goop to remove the paint and all that. That's all now up here. But it's going to be a hell of a week, and this gave me a whole bunch of energy for what I got to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it.
That was great
Well,
because I
Shadow,
hadn't got to really paint in a long time. So
And
well,
Cal, thank you so much for these minis. I cannot wait to show people the various stages that I'm gonna. Because he gave freaking 7 freaking giants.
oh yeah.
These are freaking amazing, and they've got so much character in their faces and their poses. It's gonna be a lot of fun to paint these. I haven't painted anything hardly all this year and part of last, because I was just like out of inspiration, not seeing anything that I wanted to. I was like, I want to paint that, and so Cal, thank you so very much. Um, these are going to be a blast, but I don't think I'll be able to get through one a month. Shadow's Toxic Hobby Place, and I will see you guys later. I will see Cal and other folks in my game tomorrow, which will be the last free moment. I feel like Londo Molari with an hour a day. Um, you'll see. You don't know yet, but you'll see. When you see, you'll be like, "Oh my God, poor Shadow." An hour of freedom, and this has been my 3 hours of freedom, or however long we've been doing this.
We just had the episode with Majel Barrett in it. So, and
oh
she did the vision. Yeah, that's the point of no return. So,
wow, Mrs.
Well, Shadow,
Mrs. Gene
Mrs.
Roddenberry. Yeah,
Roddenberry.
yeah. So,
while you're going through and doing all your things, you know that the gaming community will be there
I know.
awaiting your return.
And don't worry, my Monday morning videos will all be there, because they only take like 10 minutes to film.
I don't care about your Monday morning videos. I care about your Thursday night game.
well,
Yes, I'm a butthole, and I don't mind saying it.
you guys are trying to talk me in without realizing it back into breaking out all my box of shame and starting to paint some stuff again.
Well, if you have any models that you're particularly ashamed of, you're welcome to mail them to me, and I could be ashamed of them instead.
Thanks,
Well,
Cal. Everybody else, I got to go use the restroom. So I'm going to cut it here, and I will see you guys real soon. Have a great week. God bless.
See you guys.
All right, bye.
Take care.